where these Evansville Otters will be taking on the Lake Erie Crushers in a Frontier League East-West Division matchup. Dave Nguyen, Bill McCune, or the Dr. Bill McCune, as he likes to be called. Glad to have you joining us on the broadcast. Bill, what's going on?
Well, I'll tell you what, it was an interesting ball game last night, and, I know you had a physical this morning, and I had my heart checked out, and for the first time, and I'm being honest, I had such a low blood pressure. I've never had it that before, and I said, well, to the good doctor, I said, I probably accelerated that pacemaker that I got in my chest here, and I said, it's because of the Otters. They made me sweat, and I had to bang the table several times.
Well, last night was thrilling, to say the least, and Hunter Cullen was able to come through with the go-ahead home run in the 8th inning last night.
Oh, Hunter has been one of our premier ball players on this team for the last 2 years, and, I don't understand why at times he's not in that lineup. And, you're putting Keith, who's an infielder who plays left respectfully, and occasionally he goes out in center field, and yet Hunter is sitting down, and yet, like I said, one of the better center fielders in the entire league.
Leading off will be Aaron Hill, the second baseman for the Crushers. His first pitch from Austin Nicely. Fastball in there for strike one. 0-1 the count, and we are underway at Bosse Field.
And Mr. Cronin is shading his eyes already.
The 0-1 will be low and away for a ball.
It's a 84 and sunny by the announcer Zane. Anyway, right field and second base is kind of tough to be playing at this time in the
fly ball, right field. McNamee comes under it, one away in the top of the first. To the plate now will be Stephen Kraft, the former Southern Illinois Miner, now a Lake Erie Crusher, and he was able to crush the ball last night. He was 2 for 4 with 2 singles and 2 runs scored.
Yeah. Struck out his first time up last night, though, unfortunately.
First pitch is hit to right field, and that will be foul down the right field line.
I think Mr. Nicely was overpowered him then. Mr. Kraft didn't get that bat around in time. That's why the ball was fouled down the right field line.
So the last time Nicely started was against these Lake Erie Crushers in Avon, Ohio, as the 0-1 pitch is delivered. It's fouled away once more on the roof of Bosse Field, moving the count to 0-2. Nicely had a 9-inning complete game, 5-hit shutout with 3 strikeouts, a lot of ground ball outs, and a handful of flyouts, as this next pitch is swung on and fouled down the right field line once more. Count remains at 0-2 with 1 out. Nicely isn't a strikeout pitcher, but he puts the ball in play for his defense. Fastball dominated movement. He'll throw in a 2-seam here and there. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Goes off speed with a changeup right there for strikeout number 1 and out number 2.
Good description of that pitch. It was off speed. It was a breaking pitch. I'll tell you what, you went from a C student to a B plus. Now you're in the A category.
All right, I'll stick with B plus.
No, you moved up to A.
Okay, I appreciate that.
But don't forget, do your homework.
Okay, you got it. First pitch to Marrero is a line drive, and that'll drop for a base hit into left center field. First pitch of the at-bat, as the scouting report from Lake Erie to Austin Nicely, who's beaten them twice already, they must know that he's a fastball-dominant pitcher, and Marrero swung on. The first pitch must have been a fastball, and he lifted that one to the outfield for the first hit of this game in favor of the Crushers.
Well, Nicely's only breaking pitch was that strikeout on the curveball, the off-speed curve. Other than that, has been fastball, fastball, and fastball. So, he might be just setting these guys up.
Dale Burdick to the plate. Nicely would check the runner at first, and the first pitch will be away from Burdick on the right side of the box. Count at 1-0. Nicely will have the fastball. He'll have a 2-seam fastball. Interchange that one with a curveball and a changeup, but predominantly fastball pitcher as the 1-0 count to Burdick. Nicely from the right side of the rubber, checks the runner at first base. And Marrero, now he kicks and fires a 1-0. That'll be fouled behind home plate. Riz will get a new baseball as the Otters will have Mike Rizzatello behind the plate, Ryan Long at third, J.J. Gould at shortstop, although I can't see him. David Cronin's at second, and Dakota Phillips at first, McNamee and right, Cullen and center, and Griesaber in left, Meggs the DH. 1-1 the count, 2 outs, no score, top of the first. This is a cold strike 2 right there from Austin Nicely, a bit off speed right there. 1-2 the count, 2 outs here at Bosse Field.
How many pitches has he thrown so far to both batters? Or do all that matters?
8 strikes, 2 balls.
Okay, so that's 10 pitches, and out of the 10, only one has been a breaking pitch. So he's been fastball, fastball, fastball.
Oh, that's total in the inning so far.
Oh, no, I'm talking about total. In fact, I was concentrating on what you said, and I believe that was a breaking pitch. But Nicely has been just fastball, and he's got good command of it. He's around the plate at every pitch.
There are a handful of pitchers who are successful if they set up their fastball. Every other pitch that they have can take care of itself. If they set and establish their fastball, they can throw everything else. The 1-2 pitch will be a line drive to center field. Cullen going back, and he will make the catch at the warning track for out number 3. We head to the bottom of the first. Nicely gets the Otters with a clean inning right here on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811. Brought to you by Indiana 811.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank the Evansville Courier and Press for their support and coverage of Otters baseball. The Evansville Courier and Press provides news, sports, and weather coverage to the Tri-State, both in a print and online edition. The Evansville Courier and Press can be found online at courierandpress.com, as well as on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. The Evansville Courier and Press, a member of the Journal Media Group.
GD Ritzy's is a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball. GD Ritzy's menu features hamburgers, grilled chicken sandwiches, old-fashioned peanut butter and jelly, and ice cream. With 3 Evansville locations: west at 4810 University Drive, on the north side at 4320 North 1st Avenue, and on the east side at 601 North Green River Road. GD Ritzy's is open from 10 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, and 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. GD Ritzy's, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters baseball. Dave Nguyen, Bill McCune on the call. Bottom of the first, no score from Bosse Field between the Lake Erie Crushers and the Evansville Otters. On the mound will be making his first start in his professional debut, a right-hander in Sam Curtis, who went to William Jessup University, a smaller school outside in the California area.
Yeah, I never heard of it. Whether it's a 2-year or 4-year school, I don't know. But anyway, it didn't make the Wall Street Journal.
And his senior year, he was 6-1 with 6 saves. He threw 1 game where he had 6 innings pitched.
Well, I watched him warm up, if I may interrupt you there, Dave. I watched him warm up. He looked like he had a pretty good fastball with good control. His slider was outstanding. Curveball was there. So let's see what he does when there's a batter up at the plate.
First pitch to David Cronin is dropping in there for strike 1. 0-1 the count to Dave, who was 1 for 4 last night, with a single as well as a run scored. He singled to put runners on first and second back in the 7th inning last night. The 0-1 pitch. Be away for a ball. De La Rosa, the catcher, set up away, and Cronin doesn't bite on the high pitch away from him. 1-1 the count, no outs. The third baseman, Wofford, will play near the edge of the infield grass at third base. At shortstop will be Marrero, playing more towards second base. This next pitch is swung on foul behind home plate. Count moves a 1-2 to Cronin. Aaron Hill at second base. It seems that they may shade a bit towards the right side of the infield when Cronin's at the plate, as he may, according to the Lake Erie scouting report, they believe he might be a pull hitter, as the center fielder and Stephen Kraft is shaded to our right, his left just a bit.
I'll agree. He is a pull hitter.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball in the dirt. One away here in the bottom of the first. The first strikeout of Sam Curtis's professional career occurs in his first batter that he sees.
Right. Dave Cronin does. He hits an awful lot up the middle, or he does put the ball in between first and second. So I would agree he is a kind of a pull hitter. And if you noticed last night, that center fielder was really shading over to the right on most of the hitters. Now he just moved back to a normal center field position. So, yeah, everybody's playing where they should play right now.
To the plate now is Keith Griesaber. His first pitch is a drive to left field. Going back is Rakusin. He makes the catch. One pitch, one out. There's out number 2.
Pretty good. I think he got off the handle of the bat. At least it sounded that way. Mm-hmm. And therefore it didn't fly or take off, whatever you want to say. Kind of got up in the air and just died. It was a dying quail, I would say.
Well, if there is a new pitcher on the mound, just like last week for the Crushers when the Otters faced off against Lake Erie in Avon, Ohio, they had a new pitcher on the mound. They've never heard of him before. And each batter that came to the plate worked a deep count. Oh. So I think that might be a strategy against someone you don't really know about today. First pitch to Ryan Long is a breaking ball for a strike.
Well, again, when this guy warmed up, and then from our view here in the window looking down, he did show control, and so far he's executing same.
The 0-1 pitch will be upstairs for a ball this time to even the count to Ryan Long. Sam Curtis, the man from William Jessup University, only threw 6 innings in one start his senior year. He is more of a reliever. Here's the 1-1 to Ryan Long. It's swung on foul behind home plate. Catches towards the edge of the handle of Ryan Long's bat. Count will move to 1-2, 2 outs. Bottom of the first, no score. One hit between both ball clubs as we're still in the bottom of the first. Elijah McNamee will be on deck if we get there. Long last night was 0 for 3 with a fielder's choice, but also had a great play at third base that occurred earlier in the game last night. Takes the next pitch inside, belt high for a ball. Count now even at 2 with 2 outs.
You know, I said this guy had a fastball pretty good. He had a wicked slider that I saw, but he has yet to throw it. Most of this guy's pitches have been, like, nicely fastballs. So both pitchers are concentrating on fastballs for the first inning.
2-2.
Here's a curveball, which I said was so-so. And I think that just was an exhibit of the so-so.
It hangs up there,
yeah.
And the count is now full to Ryan Long. Talked to Ryan in the clubhouse earlier. I said, you made that play from third look so easy last night. And he goes, to be honest with you, I thought it was a foul ball. Payoff pitch is low and away for ball 4. You remember what play I'm talking about, right, Bill?
Oh, certainly do. And, however, give credit, too, to Mr. Phillips over there in first. You know, I used to like Castro. I thought he did an excellent job. But I've never seen a person that was a catcher stretch as much as Mr. Phillips does on first base. I think he's, well, I don't believe I've ever seen him catch. I know he's been in the outfield and first base, but I'm kind of liking his first base defensive position.
He does a solid job playing catcher. He did that towards the end of the month of May when the Otters went to River City and Gateway. He caught all 12 innings of Game 2 of a doubleheader against the Grizzlies back in May.
Okay. Well, again, I have never seen him play catch. It's been either Calabrese or Little Mike or Big Mike.
Big Mike. McNamee on the right side of the box. The first pitch to him. A fastball down the heart of the plate for strike one. Curtis seems to be a bit comfortable out there and still in the first, but he doesn't seem to be intimidated by the Otters.
You know, going to those small schools are so beneficial to young ball players, you know, compared to going to Indiana or Southern Cal, Arizona State.
Throw over to first, not in time. Ryan Long gets back safely.
You're just a number, whereas small colleges, you know, you could be the star, the big fish in the small pond.
I like that analogy.
Oh, thank you.
The 0-1 from Curtis will be popped up. Foul territory, first base side. And making the catch for the final out is Dale Bernick for out number 3. Scoreless from Bossy Field after 1. You listen to Evansville Otters baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
This Evansville Otters broadcast is made possible through support from New Image Travel. New Image Travel provides motor coach charter service to the United States and Canada with pickup within a 150-mile radius of Evansville. A full list of New Image Travel's offerings can be found online at newimagecharter.com. New Image Travel can be reached toll-free at 1-800-432-6213. New Image Travel, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
Heritage Federal Credit Union has 7 full-service branches in both Evansville and Newburgh, serving more than 38,000 members. Membership is open to anyone who lives, works, worships, or attends school in Vanderburgh or Warwick County. Heritage Federal Credit Union offers mortgage and consumer loans, checking and savings accounts, as well as online banking for members. Heritage Federal Credit Union can be reached toll-free by phone at 1-800-858-1693. It can also be found online at hfcu.info.
The Hoosier Lottery began selling lottery tickets on October 13, 1989. Since then, the Hoosier Lottery has offered hundreds of different games, awarded prizes to millions of players, and given billions of dollars to the state of Indiana. The Hoosier Lottery's mission is to responsibly provide innovative and entertaining lottery games for the benefit of the citizens of Indiana. To learn more about the Hoosier Lottery, visit them online at HoosierLottery.com. The Hoosier Lottery, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters baseball. Dave Nguyen, Bill McCune on the call. Top of the second, no score between the Otters and the Lake Erie Crushers. To the plate now will be Zach Rakusin, followed by Jake Veith and Dre Hubbard for batters 5, 6, and 7 in the Crushers order. Rakusin was 1 for 4 with a single, but he had 2 RBI groundouts, and at the time, the go-ahead run for the Crushers back in the 5th inning, and then the tying RBI that occurred in the 8th. 1 for 4 with a single and 2 RBIs on groundouts. That's not a bad day.
No, I would say no. I mean, so. Not no, so. No,
First,
so.
First pitch is fouled on the first base line, moving the count to 0-1 with no outs. Austin Nicely, the Otters' left-handed veteran starter on the mound, his 0-1 pitch. It would be fouled behind the plate, catches the leg protector of Mike Rizzatello, and the ball will roll into the Otters' dugout on the first base side. Count quickly at 0-2 with no outs.
Well, you were telling me earlier that Mike came out early and started practicing blocking pitches because of last night, and there it was there.
It was evident right there.
But I don't think, in all fairness to Mike, I don't think he did a bad job. He might have twisted his glove because it seemed like the balls were hitting off the heel of the glove, which, again, he might have just, in movement, just tilted that glove to one side and therefore was a ball that got by him. So, but Mike generally does an excellent job.
No, I think it just goes to his dedication to how seriously he takes the defensive part of the catcher position.
Well, you know, you got to give Mike credit because so many catchers, there's a runner on third, and the pitcher's best pitch is a breaking pitch, whether it be a curveball, slider, forkball, whatever. And with a man on third, they're not going to call anything but fastballs because they don't want to look bad if the ball gets by them. So, therefore, they hurt the pitcher, and they're truly not a good catcher.
The 2-2 pitch ground ball fouled on the third base line. That was pitch number 5 in the at-bat to Zach Rakusin. We'll get to pitch number 6 momentarily.
And I think that's his father who's down there was taking pictures when he was standing earlier. And, of course, there he is there with the camera.
2-2 will be swung on. Fly ball right field, and no, Cronin couldn't find it. And that'll drop in front of Elijah McNamee. A blooping single for Zach Rakusin to begin the top of the second.
I don't think even if Dave could have seen that, that was a dying quail that just got over the infield. It, just made it was high enough that it carried over the infield, but it wasn't deep enough for Big Mac out there to get either. And I guess that was the father because now he's finished. Oh no, maybe I'm wrong.
I believe it might be the news camera for one of the local stations.
Oh.
First pitch to Jake Veith is a fastball just a bit outside in the dirt. It came down and away from Jake Veith, who stands in on the left side of the box. Count at 1-0. No outs. Rakusin on first, his second hit of the series. Nicely will dig in from the belt, checks the runner at first base. Now he fires a 1-0 pitch. There's the breaking ball right there for strike 2.
Yeah. Dave, I was out here early watching batting practice of the Lake Erie. I'll tell you what, they were crushing the ball, especially this guy. He hit so many over that right field fence in batting practice, unbelievable. And then there was a big guy. Oh, my God, did he crush the ball.
The 1-1. Swing and a miss. It looks like that was the curveball from Nicely. Count moves to 1-2.
I'll tell you what, he did fake out this guy. And now that you've got 1 ball, 2 strikes, you made him look bad on both curveballs. As a former catcher, that's exactly the next pitch I'm calling.
And sometimes the thing with Rizzatello is if he finds a pitch from the opposing pitcher that's working, he'll keep telling him to throw it.
Well, you got to. Whatever makes the guy look like foolish, that's it. See, there it is, off speed, though.
And that'll be fouled down the third base line. Count remains at 1-2 with no outs. Runner on first and Zach Rakusin. No score, top of the second here at Bosse Field. Cronin and Gould at second and short. They play at double play depth. Gould playing more towards second base. The 1-2. Will be inside for a ball. That was the 2-seam fastball there from Nicely as he'll try to tail the ball in a bit to left-handed batters to try to catch them off guard. 2-2 the count, no outs. The man from Grottoes, Virginia, checks the runner at first base.
He has no lead at all.
And here's the 2-2. Check swing. Veith doesn't go around. Nicely tried to make Veith chase on the breaking ball right there. Count now full, no outs, no score, top of the second.
Nicely's got a pretty good breaking pitch with a good bite, but he hasn't had command of it yet. And let's see what happens on a 3-2 count, no outs. He doesn't have a lead at all at first. But he's leaning.
The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. He gets him on a fastball once more for strike number 3. Second strikeout for Nicely, 1 away in the top of the second. Jammed him with that 2-seam inside, and it tailed towards the knees of Veith for out number 1.
Well, you called the description of Mike, the catcher, how he sets batters up. The curveball outside, he's reaching, then he come back with an inside pitch. He had handcuffed the batter.
First pitch to Dre Hubbard is fouled down the first base line. Count at 0-1. Hubbard yesterday was 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Man who used to play running back as well as outfield for his college.
This guy here,
Yep.
Hubbard, wow, he's built like a fullback.
0-1 the count, Nicely. The former quarterback on the mound for the Otters. The 0-1 is a breaking ball in the dirt. Good block there by Riz, evening the count at 1.
Yeah, look at those thighs on this Hubbard, and you could tell that those powerful legs.
And talking to their broadcaster, Alex, he said that he was built really well. The 1-1 pitch will be a ground ball. Chopper Cronin touches second for one to first. And that will be a 4-3 double play turned by Dave Cronin. We head to the bottom of the second. No score from Bosse Field. You listen to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Chapter 16, would like to take time to say, Go Otters! The IBEW Local 16's jurisdiction includes 13 counties in southwestern Indiana, as well as Wabash County in Illinois. Its members are divided into several categories of electrical work, including inside construction, maintenance electric, residential wiring, and sign classifications. More information on IBEW Local 16 can be found online at ibew16.net.
The Tri-State Area Marathon service stations are proud supporters of the Evansville Otters. Marathon has over 5,100 Marathon-branded stations nationwide, and a full list of area Marathon stations and a list of daily gas prices are available online at mymarathonstation.com. Marathon provides products which support commercial, industrial, and retail operations. Marathon's slogan is Fueling the American Spirit.
This Evansville Otters broadcast is made possible through support from New Image Travel. New Image Travel provides motor coach charter service to the United States and Canada with pickup within a 150-mile radius of Evansville. A full list of New Image Travel's offerings can be found online at newimagecharter.com. New Image Travel can be reached toll-free at 1-800-432-6213. New Image Travel, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
The Evansville Otters play here on 91.5 FM WUEV.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters Baseball, right here on the Otters Digital Network at 91.5 WUEV. Dave Nguyen, Bill McCune on the call. It'll be Jack Meggs, Mike Rizzatello, and Hunter Cullen for batters 5, 6, and 7 in the Otters order. Jack Meggs being the DH today. Sam Curtis on the mound for the Lake Erie Crushers, making his professional debut after graduating from William Jessup University.
First inning, he got 1, 2, 3. He got the runners out, and let's see if he could do multiply. If he can copy his performance into the second inning. Outside of the walk to Long, he did all right.
Meggs will dig in, the former Washington Husky. Curtis agrees with the pitch from De La Rosa. De La Rosa was set up outside. The first pitch, swing and a miss. That's a high fastball for strike one.
That was a way high outside pitch that Meggs, I don't think he wanted to swing because it was a terrible, lazy swing. A lot of times you go into the act of swing and you just follow through. But, you say, I like that one that had that back. Ooh, did you see that move?
Nope. But it's a swing and a miss upstairs and away for strike two.
That was the second pitch identical. But that pitcher, Curtis, he let me see if he does it again. That was, I think he wanted the pitch, and he got the knee up and come down. He got it back up. No one on base, so it's not a balk. But let's see if he does it again. I think he made a mistake.
The 0-2 from Curtis.
No, he didn't. It was the pause. I mean, he goes up and he goes down, so he's consistent. Okay.
The pause with the leg kick.
Yeah.
1-2 the count to Meggs. 3 straight fastballs he's seen.
You better believe that Curtis don't have that move when there's a man on base.
The 1-2 will be away for a ball.
You notice he didn't do it then. He did not do it that time. So the last 2 he did. I think I would have picked it up in the first inning if he had done it in the first inning.
So the count now is even at 2 to Meggs. The first 2 pitches of the at-bat were high and away, and the following 2 were low and away. All of them were fastballs. Curtis now digs in. He fires a 2-2 pitch to Meggs.
Ooh,
check swing.
Curveball.
It's a called strike 3.
That was a off-speed curveball that Meggs wanted to swing, but he rotated the hips but kept the bat on the shoulder. That was called. You know, Dave, some of our listeners, I understand, wanted to know who I thought was the greatest or who I thought, in my opinion, was the greatest ball player I ever seen here or played with or whatever in Ballsy Field. And I'll tell you in a second.
All right. First pitch to Riz is a ball outside.
There's a gentleman you probably never heard of. He's one of the greatest minor league players of all time, one of Henry Aaron's mentors, as well as many, many Afro-American players that made the majors with the Braves.
1-0, swung on, ground ball to Marrero. On a hop, throws over to first. That's out number 2.
I'll tell you, that was a pretty good contact by Mike. The ball player I'm talking about is Horace Gardner. Horace was probably the greatest minor league hitter I ever seen. He had great power. Dave, you wouldn't believe, we didn't have that portable fence. We had the brick wall. And Horace Gardner would get up, and he would hit a line drive that shortstop would leap in the air, and it'd be a foot or so over his head in their extension. And the next thing you know, it just kept climbing and climbing and climbing, and it went out over the left center field brick wall there. And I think he was like, a 350 hitter. How many people can bat 350 or better every year? And, oh, my God. And what an arm. He had a Kentucky rifle of an arm. I mean, you could put a dime on home plate, and you could put him anywhere in the outfield, and I'll guarantee you he'd hit that dime.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he had a great arm, great power.
The 1-0 to Cullen. Check swing. Doesn't get his bat all the way around home plate. And the count will be 2-0 to Hunter Cullen. And if the Otters hitters are paying attention, they need to be careful of the high fastball away, especially if you're a left-handed batter.
I'll tell you about a very, very exciting play that Horace Gardner executed here.
2-0, ground ball foul down the first base line.
I was on third base. I don't know how I ever got there, but I was on third. And you had Billy Smith come up. Billy Smith was one of the 300 hitters we had. I mean, I'm batting eighth, and I was one of the lousy hitters. And I was batting 300 as well. Anyway, Billy Smith is batting about 340 and never strikes out. And I'm on third base, and Smitty's a left-hander.
2-1 pitch. It'll be off-speed upstairs for a ball, as that breaking ball was able to hang upstairs. Count moves to 3-1 to Hunter Cullen, last night's hero, who had the game-winning solo home run in the bottom of the 8th last night. No score right now at Ballsy Field. The Otters have yet to have a hit. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Cullen, and it'll be outside for ball 4.
Well, anyway, Smitty hardly ever struck out. Third baseman was playing over towards short. Smitty strikes out. Here comes Lee May. Lee May's batting about 350. And Lee's a left-hand hitter as well. And again, the third baseman's playing. And I'm telling Bob Coleman, Bob, I can walk home. We're losing 3-2. Bob, I can walk home. I can tie this game up. Let me steal. And he's not paying attention to me. Well, Lee May strikes out. Of course, Lee struck out a lot, so it wasn't unusual. Up steps Horace Gardner. He's batting about 360. And Horace takes strike one. And I said, Bob, I can make it. And now this is the point I'm going to make. The third baseman is playing in left field. I'm honestly telling you the truth. The third baseman is maybe 5 steps into left field. And I said, Bob, I can make it. I can walk home.
This pitch is swung on foul, catching it towards the handle of the bat of Phillips. Counted 0-1 with 2 outs. Cullen is aboard on first. He worked a walk. Otters have yet to have a hit. Phillips last night was 1 for 4 with the RBI double as well as 2 strikeouts.
Well, anyway, Horace Gardner hits the next pitch. A shot, line drive, ground ball to the third baseman. He goes down. He puts the glove to field it. The ball goes in the glove. The glove and the ball both go to left field. He hit it so hard it took the glove right off the hand of the third baseman. Of course, I score and tie the game up. Horace then scores, we win the game. But that is the type of player Horace Gardner was.
Oh, wow. Sounds incredible.
Yeah.
0-1 the count to Phillips. Runner on first, 2 outs, no score. Bottom of the second. Curtis, who has thrown a lot of fastballs and the occasional curveball, throws over to first once more, and the third time in this sequence. Cullen better be careful. 0-1 the count, 2 outs.
If Horace Gardner was alive and playing in his youth here today, he'd be in the major leagues as strictly as a designated hitter. I mean, could he hit? Anyway, that's the story.
Curtis from the belt fires an 0-1 pitch, and it's upstairs for a ball. Count even at 1. The fastball upstairs away is something that both Phillips, Cullen, Meggs, Cronin, and Long should take note of. 1-1 the count, 2 outs. Cullen with a decent lead off first, inching closer towards second base. In a running stance. Here's the 1-1 from Curtis. And it's a fastball upstairs away to Phillips. Count moving now to 2-1 with 2 outs.
This guy was throwing pretty good fastballs down the middle. The second inning, he's high with most of his fastballs. So I wouldn't be so quick to swing at the first pitch anymore.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. There's that fastball you were talking about, Bill. It drops in there for strike 2 on a swing and a miss.
Yeah. Anyway, we got a 2-2-2 situation here.
That's right. 5 2s on the board. 2-2 count, 2 outs. 2 hits for the Crushers in the bottom of the second.
And he's going on this pitch.
I'd agree.
There he goes.
It's in the dirt. Cullen gets a good jump, but he gets tagged out. De La Rosa, got to be careful of his arm. He throws out Hunter Cullen and gets caught stealing. We head to the top of the third. No score from Bosse Field between the Crushers and the Otters on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
Why Old National Bank? Old National Bank began in 1834 with just one room and a passion for helping people prosper. Today, we are honored and grateful to be the financial partner for so many businesses, families, and individuals like you. From our commitment to safety and security to our promise of service that will exceed your expectations, we want to be your bank for life. Old National Bank, member FDIC.
The pizza brick road always goes to Tyroni's. I'm in the mood for pizza and I'm ready to go. The pizza brick road goes to Tyroni's. So follow me down the pizza brick road. Road down to Tyroni's. The pizza brick road. The pizza brick road always goes to Tyroni's.
WUEV listeners, you can catch Evansville Otters baseball this week, Tuesday through Sunday on 91.5 FM WUEV. And remember, the Otters pregame warm-up begins 15 minutes prior to first pitch. You can listen on 91.5 FM, WUEV.org, EvansvilleOtters.com, and through TuneIn Radio. It's Evansville Otters baseball on WUEV.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters baseball. Dave Nguyen, Bill McCune on the call. No score from Bosse Field as we begin the top of the third. It'll be for the Crushers, Brian De La Rosa. And as you have noted throughout the season, Bill, you make a good play on defense, you're most likely going to be one of the next 3 batters to enter the plate in the next half inning.
You've said it more proficiently than I do. I mean, I say the same thing, but not so eloquently.
Oh, I appreciate that. It'll be De La Rosa, Wofford, and then Hill for batters 8, 9, and 1 in the Crushers order. Brian De La Rosa to the plate. We saw his cannon of an arm moments ago, throwing out Hunter Cullen to end the bottom of the second. First pitch from Nicely is a breaking ball in the dirt for a ball. Count at 1-0. No outs. Top of the third. We have no score. 2 hits between both teams, both in favor of the Crushers. They have 1 in the first and 1 in the second. Righty-lefty matchup. Nicely digs in on the rubber. The lefty fires a 1-0 pitch. That'll be set up inside on a curveball from Nicely. Count moves to 2-0 as that pitch was belt high inside to De La Rosa. De La Rosa had the single last night in the 9th that set up the go-ahead run for the Crushers. Swinging a drive to left field. Going back is Griesaber. He'll play it off the wall and throwing it from left field to second base. Ooh, that's close. Yeah. And Cronin unable to tag De La Rosa as Brian De La Rosa gets a double and sneaks into second base in the nick of time.
Well, who deserves a star for that play? That was Keith out there in left field. Boy, did he play that ball just perfectly. He ran as hard as he could. He stopped and he waited for the ricochet off that wall. Got it on one hop. Threw a bullet to second base. Unfortunately, Mr. De La Rosa beat the throw. But I tell you what, Keith looked real good on that play.
Most people underestimate the arm of Griesaber in left because he is a former infielder. First pitch from Nicely to Brody Wofford is a called strike low and away to move the count to 0-1. Wofford yesterday was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts and a sac bunt. Yesterday he was batting 6th in the lineup. Now he is batting 9th. 0-1. Good block by Riz on the breaking ball from Nicely, evening the count at 1.
Yeah, it's not too conducive to have the leadoff hitter be on second base with no outs. You know, it gives you 3 opportunities to bring him in.
Nicely would check De La Rosa at second, the 1-1. Swing and a miss, and there's that curveball. Gets him to bite as that pitch had some break to it. Count now at 1-2 with no outs. No score, top of the third at Bossy Field. All 3 hits in this game belonging to the Crushers. They have a hit in each inning thus far.
Mr. Brody Wolford struck out 3 times last night. And he's in the process and again doing it now.
He'll drive this one right at Cronin for out number 1. Dave didn't have to move an inch. There's 1 away here in the top of the third.
Yep.
Aaron Hill to the plate. He was 0 for 3 with 2 walks and 2 strikeouts yesterday. He's batting .278 on the year. 1 out, top of the third. No score from Bossy Field between the Lake Erie Crushers and the Evansville Otters. The Crushers currently standing in first place in the Frontier League East Division. The Otters right now in a tie for second place with the River City Rascals in the Frontier League West Division. The first pitch to Hill is high inside for a ball. Count at 1-0. And after last night, Bill, the Florence Freedom, Evansville Otters, River City Rascals, and the Southern Illinois Miners all have 40 or more wins. It's going to be a tight race for the playoffs as we come down the stretch in the month of August.
Well, right now, you're right, and I agree with you. And the Otters are sitting pretty good right now. If the season was to end today, they'd be in the playoffs. But you still got the whole month of August to play. And, you know, if you lose 4 in a row, you may not be in that playoffs.
Fastball blows by Hill from Nicely, evening the count at 1 with 1 out. Runner at second in De La Rosa. Nicely checks the runner at second. The 1-1 pitch. That'll be a foul ball late off the tip of the bat of Aaron Hill. Count now at 1-2 with 1 out. Nicely with good fastball control as that he has done throughout the entire season and showed that last week in his last start against these Lake Erie Crushers back in Avon, Ohio. The lefty from the right side of the rubber stares in at Riz to agree with the pitch. And now Hill will call time. Mike will go out on the pitcher's mound to talk things over with Austin Nicely. Let's see, Bill, do you know?
Yes, I do.
1929 today, Babe Ruth ties the MLB record by hitting grand slams in consecutive games for the second time in a 13-1 win against the Philadelphia Athletics.
Really?
Consecutive games, back-to-back games with a grand slam. Unbelievable.
He was an unbelievable power hitter, yes. He left so many...
1-2 blocked in the dirt. Good block there by Riz to even the count at 2.
Babe Ruth gets credit for the home runs. He had, 600 or whatever, and I think 2 guys came on and beat him now, or 700 and some, whatever it is. However, no one recognizes that Babe Ruth pitched 30 innings in the World Series without giving up a run.
That's right.
30 innings pitching in the World Series. It was matched by Eddie Ford, but that record stood for a long time.
I think people forget how good of a pitcher Babe Ruth was.
Yes, he was, and pretty good.
2-2 the count. Runner on first and De La Rosa. 1 out, top of the third. Swing and a drive to left field. Playable for Griesaber. And he'll catch that fly ball for out number 2. Here in the top of the third. No score from Bossy Field, and it'll bring up Emmanuel Marrero.
Do you know how many ball players there are in the world of professional baseball? I've signed 2 of them, I know. But there are more, but I know I signed 2 who were pretty good hitters that were pitchers. And they'd rather say, well, let me really try out for pitching, but I'm really an infielder, outfielder, because what they want to do is hit those home runs. And I think Babe Ruth falls within that category.
Swing and a miss, and after the late foul tip from Stephen Kraft, the count will move to 0-1.
Yeah.
Marrero actually on deck. Marrero was in the 2-hole last night. He's in the 3-hole today. 0-1 the count to Stephen Kraft. Nicely fires. And this pitch is blocked in the dirt. Good block there by Riz once more. Evening the count at 1 on a off-speed pitch from Austin Nicely. Kraft hitting 300 on the season. He had 2 hits last night. Both were singles. Today he is 0 for 1 with a strikeout swinging. Nicely from the belt, checks the runner at second base. Riz will set up inside the 1-1, and that'll be a ball upstairs. That'll be a fastball up and away from Austin Nicely to Stephen Kraft. Count now at 2-1, 2 outs, no score. Top of the third from Bossy Field. Infield playing on the edge of the outfield grass, as Kraft has some power. This pitch is swung on, fouled. And a good snag there by Bobby Siegel in the Otters dugout off the net.
Well, President Field, the clubhouse boy, Benny, used to stand on that dugout, and you want to see how many balls he would catch off that net. He has the all-time Frontier record of 78.
What?
Oh, yeah. Consecutive.
Next pitch is inside for ball 3 from Austin Nicely. Count now full. 78 consecutive games catching a foul ball.
Yes. I'll tell you what, he jumped out of that dugout and he snared it before the ball hit the net.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
The payoff pitch from Nicely. Check swing. And a late check swing. A foul ball down the first base line from Stephen Kraft. And we'll go back at it again for a full count with 2 outs.
I think Mr. Kraft was saying, boy, I'd like to have that back. That was ball 4. And I just committed myself, and I didn't bring the bat back in time. And we were lucky. Otherwise, it would have been ball 4, runners on second and first.
Nicely shakes off a couple signs from Riz. Now they will try to agree on the next pitch. 3-2 the count, 2 outs. Nicely checks the runner at second. Here's another payoff pitch. upstairs for ball 4. So runners now on first and second for the Crushers with 2 outs. And to the plate will be Emmanuel Marrero. He was 1 for 4 yesterday with a single, a walk, and scored 2 runs. 2 of the 4 that the Crushers had yesterday.
You know, you just emphasized the point there, Dave, how nicely shook off Mike as far as the call, what pitch to call, and it was a 3-2 count, and Big Mike gave whatever it was. I don't know. You don't know, but whatever. And nicely shook it off, and, of course, Mike then would go to the next pitch. I never agreed.
This pitch is foul.
Off the bat, the leg of the batter.
Oh, no, it hits him, yep.
Yeah.
So now the bases are loaded.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I never liked a pitcher shaking me off. And the reason I say that, not because I was good or anything, but a catcher is more in tune with the pitcher than the pitcher is himself, if you know what I'm trying to say. A pitcher loves to throw a fastball. All right, they're jumping all over the fastball. So you want to say, well, no, I need the curveball now just to offset the timing and whatever. Oh, no, I got to throw that curve. And whatever. Listen to your catcher. Never mind what you think. The catcher is more in tune with you than you are with yourself.
Dale Burdick to the plate. Burdick had the RBI double back in the first in last night's game. He was 1 for 2 with the RBI double, a fielder's choice, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Swing and a miss on a fastball from Nicely, counted 0-1. Bases loaded for the Crushers. No score, top of the third, Nicely in the jam. Ground ball can make things easier for the Otters in the infield. Nicely stares in to Riz, the 0-1 pitch. That will be a fastball just missing the heart of the plate. Count now even at 1 with 2 outs.
We have nowhere to put this young man except back in the dugout. So Mr. Nicely better work around this man. I'd say stay with the fastball because he hasn't thrown that many breaking pitches and they haven't been that good.
The 1-1.
It's a breaking pitch.
It will be in the dirt. Count now at 2-1. Bases loaded for the Crushers. No score. Top of the third. Nicely needs to get out of this jam, or else the Crushers will have a chance to score the first run of the game.
Right. If you look and you see Nicely on that breaking pitch, Big Mike has stopped so many of the balls that have been in the dirt that haven't reached home plate. So Mike is doing a great job, and as said, Nicely's breaking pitch is not that efficient, so stay with the fastball.
2-1. Swung on. Foul territory down the first base line, and we'll go foul.
See, that might have been the point. Maybe Big Mike might have called for the fastball on that 3-2 count, and Nicely said, no, I want to throw that curveball. So, well, whatever it wasn't fruitful.
So the count now even at 2. 2 outs. Bases loaded for the Crushers. Nicely checks the runner at second. The 2-2 will be lifted in the air to deep left field. Going back is Griesehaber to the wall, and that ball is caught.
Yeah, what a play. Good.
Way to keep your eye on the ball, Keith Griesehaber, to get the Otters out of a jam. We head to the bottom of the third. No score from Boston Field on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank Sinorama Evansville for their support this season. Sinorama Evansville is a multi-application supplier of custom-made signs, banners, and decals in the tri-state. Located at 1300 North Royal Avenue in Evansville, Sinorama is open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. They can be reached by phone at 812-477-7763 and can be found online at sinorama.com/in-Evansville. Sinorama Evansville, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
The local Pepsi bottling group features Pepsi Company products for distribution to retailers and vendors in the tri-state and would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. The Pepsi bottling group has locations at 2605 West Marion Street in Marion, Illinois, 3081 Contronics Drive in Owensboro, Kentucky, and 11733 West Industrial Park Drive in Elberfeld, Indiana. Information on Pepsi products can be found online at PepsiCo.com. Pepsi, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
Coming to Louisville, Kentucky, August 10th and 11th, Derby City Jazz Fest. 14 bands, 2 days and nights of music. Iroquois Amphitheater in Louisville, Kentucky, 2 to 10 p.m., August 10th and 11th, the Derby City Jazz Fest. Ticket information and a full list of the bands available at derbycityjazzfest.com or at the WUEV Facebook page. Listen to Jazz Flight to win tickets Tuesday and Friday, 4 to 6 p.m.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters Baseball. Dave Nguyen, Bill McCune on the call. We have a scoreless game at Bosse Field here in the bottom of the third. Dakota Phillips to the plate. Now, he was the last batter back in the bottom of the second, but Hunter Cullen was caught stealing to end the inning. Therefore, Phillips will get a second chance against the right-hander Sam Curtis of Lake Erie, who was just signed today. So if you're Phillips, you're thinking you already saw at least 4 to 5 pitches thrown from Curtis already. You might have a better idea of what pitch to jump on.
Well, I'm going to say observing and evaluating and analyzing. How about that?
Oh, the AAA?
Yes. This young man has thrown nothing, I shouldn't say nothing, has thrown the majority of his pitches as fastball. He threw one good slider that he showed when he was warming up. He had several bad curves. So I would say what you're going to get is fastball. And that's what I'd be looking for.
Curtis kicks and fires the first pitch to Phillips. He'll be breaking away for strike one.
That looked like it was a sinker. I mean, that wasn't a fastball, and it wasn't a breaking pitch. It might have been a forkball. Who knows? It sank.
Sink, sank, sunk.
Yes.
The 0-1 pitch from Curtis.
There's your fastball.
Right there for strike two.
Yeah. Loose lips sink ships. Remember that.
Okay.
Now, I tell you, we were lucky to get out of that inning. Mr. Keith made a spectacular play, kept his eye on the ball all the time going back. He had it zeroed in from the minute it left the bat. So
0-2, and that's a breaking ball in the dirt.
That was a slider. And so here we got Phillips. He's got 3 pitches. One I'm going to say was a sinker, one is a slider, one's a fastball. Boy, he's showing you his arsenal right away.
1-2. Check swing. He doesn't bring his bat around. And they count now even at 2, no outs. Bottom of the third, no score from Bosse Field between the Lake Erie Crushers and the Evansville Otters. Lake Erie coming in with a record of 38-33. The Otters coming in with a record of 40-32. The 2-2 pitch to Phillips is a ball 3 upstairs as De La Rosa, the catcher, was setting up away from the left-handed batter, Phillips. Count now full. Phillips needs to be careful. If it's in the zone, at least bring your bat out there to make contact for a foul ball. The payoff pitch from Curtis. Swing and a miss on a high fastball, and there's one away in the bottom of the third.
That's what it was, a high fastball, and
it seems that every batter, whether it's for the Otters or the opposing team, will always chase that high fastball. From what hitters tell me, it looks too juicy not to swing at, but it's a ball.
You're right, it does. And I'll be honest with you, I was one of the ones that did the same thing. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I was a perfect hitter. No, I chased that big baby too. In fact, I remember one time in Waycross, Georgia,
First pitch to J.J. Gould, swung on a slow grounder to the shortstop Marrero. He rifles that one across the diamond for out number 2.
We were playing Cardinal Farm Club. Chase Riddle was the manager, and he was catching. And I came to the plate with the bases loaded, and Chase went out there, and he said to the umpire, to the pitcher, I could see him. And he said, give him one letter high, give him one neck high, and give him one over the head. He'll chase him. And lo and behold, if I didn't go for the first 2, may I brag and say, yeah, the third pitch I hit it over the scoreboard for a grand slam. But I was lucky, put it that way.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
David Cronin to the plate, bases empty, 2 outs. His first pitch is a called strike. Fastball away from Cronin, between knee and belt high, away from the lefty Cronin. Count at 0-1. 2 outs, no score in the bottom of the third. All 3 hits in this game have belonged to the Lake Erie Crushers.
Although the Otters are hitting the ball well, let's be honest. You know,
they're making contact, just haven't been able to get the ball through the infield.
Right. They've made good contact. They're swinging the bat. It's just unfortunate that those people are out there in the right positions.
1-1 the count to the Chicago native. Curtis, from the right side of the rubber, digs in, waits for a sign from De La Rosa. He sets up outside the 1-1. That'll drop in there for strike 2. So that pitch came back into Cronin, and it'll be a called strike.
That was a beautiful pitch. I tell you, this guy's got a good slider. I said that when he warmed up. He had good rotation, good bite.
Curtis agrees with the sign from De La Rosa, the 1-2. That hit him. And Cronin goes down.
Yep, that hit him.
Cronin grimacing, and he's holding his left kneecap. Andy McCauley and the trainer for the Otters, athletic trainer Sarah Zurich, out to attend Cronin, and he hasn't gone up yet.
Now, I'm not predicting anything or saying anything, but the young boy that got hit in the face with Adams,
yep,
is he back with the team now?
He is back with the team, has not been activated yet.
Oh, he hasn't. So, okay, so Wisrick would be the... Wietrich would be the... if Cronin can't make it, so Wietrich would be
second base.
Second base, okay.
And it looks like the doctor... What is Doc's name?
The doctor.
Oh, that he doesn't have a last name? Okay. Or what? He's just known as the doctor?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's been here for, my God, I'm going to say at least 8 years, maybe more.
He's also checking in. It looks like the knee of Cronin. I got to tell you, he is one tough kid out there at second base. Plays the game hard. Will always make diving stops in the infield. Never afraid to get his uniform dirty. The spark plug of this Otters lineup. And it looks like he'll get up with some assistance. And he gets a round of applause from the Otters crowd.
You know, at the kneecap is called the patella, I believe. And I played in Eau Claire with a pitcher that got hit in the kneecap, the patella, and he fell on the mound. And anyway, to cut the story, they took him to the hospital. X-rays showed nothing. 3 days later, took him to the hospital again because he fell. The X-rays showed nothing. And we were on the road, and about a week later, he fell again when he was swinging, and lo and behold, that kneecap was in 2 parts. So, first 2 X-rays showed nothing, and that does happen. You know, it depends on the angle they take that X-ray and all.
So Keith Griesaber will step to the plate. He made a great catch in the outfield back in the top of the third. Let's see, Cronin with a decent lead off first. He looks like he's in a runner's stance. First pitch is a bit wild and high inside to Griesaber. Fastball upstairs for ball 1. 1-0 the count to Griesaber. Keith was 1 for 3 yesterday with a single, a run scored, as well as a walk.
You know, I'm noticing. I'm gonna look here.
The 1-0 pitch upstairs for ball 2.
Okay. I knew I saw a difference. And what I'm referring to is Hubbard is in right field tonight compared to being in center field last night. And he played shallow last night, and he favored going to right field or shading to right. Now he's playing right, and he's playing short as well.
2-0, swing and a miss on a good breaking ball from Sam Curtis, and fooled Griesaber on a swing and a miss for strike 1.
You know, when you're playing in the outfield, you always can come in well, but you don't go back well.
So it would be Kraft in center, Hubbard in right, and Racusin in left.
Yeah.
Wofford at third, Marrero at short, Burdick at first, Hill at second, Veith, the DH. This is a bouncing ball in the dirt. Count will move to 3-1 with 2 outs to Keith Griesaber. And Keith this year, I believe, let me get the correct number, he has 80 hits on the season.
Yeah, if we were to say anything about Keith, he chases too many bad pitches. He does make good contact, but he also chases many, which he did. The one strike he's got now was a bad pitch.
3-1 the count, 2 outs. Cronin was hit by a pitch. He's on first. Cronin goes. Swinging a drive. That's going to drop in center field for a base hit. Cronin testing his leg, and he's going to head to third. Runners on now on the corners for the Otters on a single by Keith Griesaber. Jumped on a fastball and ripped it to the outfield.
Now, I'm going to say I don't believe it was a hit and run, but it was executed as a hit and run. Insofar as, yes, Dave Cronin was stealing in the act of stealing, put it that way. And Keith did get that fastball, and he just slapped at it. He did not take a normal, good, hard swing. He just slapped at it, hit it a line drive up the middle. And Cronin never stopped. He hit second and threw it in overdrive and went to third base. So, yes, the Otters got something going. Here comes Big Ryan. And if we were to have a bad, wild pitch like we had last night, we could possibly get the first run.
We took advantage of those miscues by Olgi Gallardo of the Crushers last night in the 7th. One of those runs came home was Cronin, but he hit it on a chopper from Ryan Long. The pitcher, Gallardo, got into De La Rosa, but Cronin used his speed to get under and avoid the tag. First pitch to Ryan Long with runners on the corners, 2 outs for the Otters. Will be a pop-up in the infield. Long came under that one, and Marrero at shortstop will make the catch for the final out of the inning. Not the best pitch to swing at, and Ryan Long knows it. Yeah. We head to the 4th, 3 up, 3 down from Bosse Field. We are in a scoreless game right here on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
Since 1994, Slays Restoration has been assisting tri-state residents clean up and restore their properties after disasters of all kinds. Located at 2121 Cotter Avenue in Evansville, Slays Restoration offers assistance for water damage, fire and smoke damage, mold and biohazard mitigation, complete reconstruction, and much more. Slays Restoration can be reached toll-free 24 hours a day at 1-888-776-8555. It can also be found online at slaysrestoration.com.
SRG Global, a Guardian company, would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. Founded in 1932, SRG Global is one of the world's largest manufacturers of chrome-plated plastic parts for the automotive, commercial truck, and household appliance industry. Located locally at 601 North Congress Avenue in Evansville, SRG Global can be found online at srgglobal.com. They can also be reached in Evansville by phone at 812-477-6151.
The Tin Fish Restaurant is located at 707 State Street in Newburgh, Indiana. Independently owned and operated, the Tin Fish menu featured salads and sandwiches, as well as seafood platters and combos and seafood burritos, tacos, and burgers. The Tin Fish Restaurant is open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. They can be reached by phone at 812-490-7000. Visit them online at tinfishnewburgh.com. The Tin Fish Restaurant, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters baseball. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. The Otters left runners on the corners back in the bottom of the third. The Crushers left the bases loaded in the top of the third. We're in the top of the fourth in a scoreless game between Austin Nicely and Sam Curtis, both pitchers for the Otters and Crushers. First pitch to Zach Rakusin is a fastball away from the right-handed batter. Count at 1-0. No outs. We are in Sunset at Bossy Field. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Nicely. It'll be a bouncing ball in the dirt, and that will move the count to 2-0 to Rakusin. Rakusin was 1 for 4 yesterday with a single, 2 RBIs, and both RBIs came on groundouts. It'll be Rakusin, Veith, and Hubbard. Rakusin singled back in the second. He's 1 for 1. The 2-0 pitch from Nicely. It'll be a line drive in the center field, playable for Cullen, and it'll make the catch for out number 1. To the plate now will be Jake Veith. Veith was 1 for 4 yesterday with a single and a strikeout. Standing in on the left side of the box in a lefty-lefty matchup.
And this is the only man that's struck out so far for the Crushers in this game, and that was because he kept throwing them breaking pitches, just like that there, low and outside, and then came back with that fastball inside. So you called it.
I like the recollection, Bill.
Yeah, good. I'm only following what you said. I pay attention to what you say. I learn.
The 0-1 pitch.
There it is.
It'll be just outside.
I don't know what was wrong with that.
Count even at 1 with 1 out. Nicely kicks and fires. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It'll be over the pitcher's mound. Gould fields it softly, throws over to first. That'll be out number 2. 2 pitches, 2 outs. Dre Hubbard to the plate. He grounded out into a double play that was turned by David Cronin back in the second.
Okay, Mr. Hubbard, like I said, he played a shallow center. Now he's playing a shallow right. And when he was playing center, he was shading more to the right field than he was straightaway center.
First pitch will drop in there for a strike to Hubbard. Counted 0-1.
You know, that reminds me of what you asked our manager, Andy, why JJ plays so much to third. And he said, well, our charts indicate that it's a pull hitter. Well, I'll tell you what, last night, Mr. Hubbard played every batter to shading to the right, just like JJ shades every right-hand batter to third.
The 0-2 inside for a ball this time from Nicely.
So, in essence, what I'm saying is I don't know where those guys get those charts. Sears Roebuck has a sale, but Sears closed.
Unfortunately. The 1-2. Ooh, that was close. It'll be inside for a ball. Riz wanted that call. It's an even count at 2. Wanted that one for a called strike 3.
Yeah.
All the pitches have been inside to Hubbard. Here's the 5th pitch of the at-bat. Nicely. Let's check the sign. Shakes off 2 pitches from Riz. Now they agree on 1. Here's the 2-2. A breaking ball in the dirt. Moves the count full with 2 outs. Bases empty. And there seems to be a bit of a hole towards the middle of the infield for the Otters as Gould is playing Hubbard to pull. and Gould will play more toward third base rather than a traditional shortstop. Cronin, I can't see him behind this pole, but he's there as the next pitch is fouled away behind home plate.
I'll vouch for it.
Okay.
I'll vouch that Cronin is there.
All right. Does he seems to be walking around.
Yes,
and,
he's loose. He's cool.
Okay. So the knee hasn't been bothering him, it looks like?
No.
Okay.
I would say he's a...
Payoff pitch will be in the dirt for ball 4. So Dre Hubbard works a 2-out walk, and that will extend this inning as we have a scoreless game in the top of the 4th between the Crushers and the Otters. Big game for both teams, more so the Otters, as last night the Otters were able to get out of their 4-game losing streak. In the past 3 games against the Southern Illinois Miners, the Miners won all 3 games. They won a day-night doubleheader yesterday in Gateway, so the Miners are now winners of 5 straight. The Crushers are in first place in the Frontier League East Division, and because the Otters could not take care of business against Southern Illinois, they did not take advantage of the fact that the Florence Freedom were able to lose a few games over the weekend, and now the Florence Freedom are playing against the Schaumburg Boomers, who also are 1 game behind these Crushers. To the plate now will be Brian De La Rosa. He led off the top of the 3rd with a double. There are 2 outs in the top of the 4th. All 3 hits were coming from the Crushers, as this is a fly ball to center field. Cullen comes in to make the catch. Getting on his horse, rushing in, and getting out number 3. We head to the bottom of the 4th. No score from Bossy Field on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
Hey, it's Mixmaster Jones Capone. Be sure to check me out right here on 91.5 WUEV for Party Lights Uncut. Party Lights Uncut is the premier and longest-running hip-hop and R&B show in the Tri-State. Every Friday and Saturday night, midnight to 2, Party Lights Uncut plays the best in contemporary hip-hop and R&B from today's top artists. So be sure to tune in right here on 91.5 WUEV. Party Lights Uncut.
Injuries are inevitable. It doesn't matter if you're playing baseball, walking the dog, or falling from a ladder. Injuries happen. When they do, Tri-State Orthopedics offers treatment for sprains, strains, and fractures by medical specialists. Tri-State Orthopedics is located at 225 Cross Lake Drive in Evansville, just north of the Lloyd and I-164. Tri-State Orthopedics can be reached by phone at 812-477-1558. Its urgent care line is 812-474-OUCH. Tri-State Orthopedics, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
WUEV listeners, you can catch Evansville Otters baseball this week, Tuesday through Sunday on 91.5 FM WUEV. And remember, the Otters pregame warm-up begins 15 minutes prior to first pitch. You can listen on 91.5 FM, WUEV.org, EvansvilleOtters.com, and through TuneIn Radio. It's Evansville Otters baseball on WUEV.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters baseball. Dave Nguyen, Bill McCune on the call. It is a very cool night in Evansville. Clear blue skies and no rain today as there was a little bit yesterday. In a scoreless game between Evansville and Lake Erie. We're in the bottom of the 4th. To the plate for the Otters will be Elijah McNamee, Jack Maggs, and Mike Rizzatello for batters 4, 5, and 6 in the Otters order. Sam Curtis, the pitcher for the Crushers in his first professional start, does not look bad out there on the mound.
He looks pretty good. And just to emphasize what you were saying, I believe Zane, when we started the game, said we started at 6:35 or 6:36, but the temperature was 84. So you called it when you said it's a beautiful night. This would be a good football night.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
We are in the month of August. Bill, are you ready for football season?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I don't watch football until the end of baseball.
All right.
I don't combine 2 sports.
Okay. I'm going to do the opposite.
No.
First pitch to McNamee is away for a ball. Fastball from Curtis moves the count to 1-0. If you have a subscription to HBO, the yearly film, the yearly series Hard Knocks, debuted last night as they will be documenting the training camp, this time of the Oakland Raiders, with John Gruden at the helm for the second time in the franchise history. 1-1 the count now to McNamee.
Well, I just went to confession yesterday morning, and I'm going to say this. I said a fib to you. Yes, if Notre Dame was playing football, I'd be watching it.
Okay.
Okay, so, I'm not into football at this time, but if Notre Dame was there, yes.
Okay. The 1-1 pitch from Curtis.
Ooh.
That nearly...
Foul ball. It's unbelievable.
No way.
Well, let's see if a ball goes up there. That ricocheted off the bat.
And it did, and McNamee can't believe it, shakes his head in disgust. It is a 1-2 count.
You got to see everything. Dave, you got to have eyes like a snake, a hawk. You got to spot that fish when you're a mile up in the air.
I don't like fish.
Oh, I love fish.
I like salmon. I'll do some tilapia, but not big fish guy. 1-2 is swing and a miss on a breaking ball from Curtis for strike 3. That foul ball really messed with Elijah McNamee right there, as McNamee is now 0-2 in the game.
Well, the bat was hanging up. He ducked, but the bat was there, and the ball was behind him, and therefore hit the bat and deflected off, and that's how strike 2 became reality. As a baseball scout, let me say this, and I'm patting myself on the back. I'm letting you know and everyone, you see everything. You try to see everything. And that's why you get paid.
Jack Meggs to the plate, tonight's designated hitter. His first pitch is swung on, gets the middle of the baseball bat towards the handle, and that'll be fouled behind home plate on the roof of Bosse Field, the third oldest baseball stadium in America. And the field, I got to tell you, looks really good. You got a beautiful scenery out there. We got the purplish sky out there with white clouds. It's just a beautiful night, a beautiful screensaver picture right now if you're here at the ballpark. The 0-1 pitch to Meggs is fouled away once more, catching the same part of the bat as the first pitch, and the count now is at 0-2 after the last foul ball.
Dave, I might be mistaken, but I'm going to say I believe I heard you say interviewing one of our pitchers a while back when you were asking him various questions, and he said, we don't pay attention to the game until the 6th inning. And that was with the relief pitchers, not a starter.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, that's true. That is true. People don't pay attention to the game. They sit there in that
bullpen.
Down there in the bullpen, they don't know whether it's morning or night until it gets in the latter innings. Then they know they may get in the game. So then they pay attention. But they don't know if this guy got a home run or if this guy grounded out. They don't know. They might be playing tic-tac-toe. Was it?
Tic-tac-toe?
That's what I'm trying to say, yeah.
After Meggs started with an 0-2 count, the next 2 pitches were balls, and the count now is even at 2 with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Scoreless game at Bosse Field. The Otters only have 1 hit, and that was thanks to Keith Griesaber back in the bottom of the 3rd.
With a possible hit and run with Cronin going to third base.
Here's the 2-2 to Meggs. It'll be swung on, and we threw the hole on the right side of the infield, and that will be the second Otters hit of the day, thanks to Jack Meggs.
Yeah.
Meggs now 1-for-2.
Now here comes Big Mike. And Mike hit a ground ball to short pretty good last time up. But again, Mike's hitting the ball well. It's just that he hasn't had them fall in it. There's so many good shots at center field, the right field. But again, they're nothing but fly ball outs. But they are good contact. And so therefore he belongs in the lineup. As long as you don't have those Ks.
Runner on first, Curtis has pitched well for the Crushers. Meggs gets a good lead. Here's a pop-up from Mike Rizzatello. Shallow in the outfield, and Hubbard is there for out number 2. 1 pitch, 1 out, 2 away for Lake Erie here in the top of the 4th.
I'm going to say this. If you watch Mike, he has a tendency of doing it quite often. And you know he's one of my favorites. But you notice he's swinging from the heels back on the heels of his back foot. In other words, what I'm trying to say is he's dipping his shoulder because his weight's back on his foot. Therefore, it's an uppercut swing, and that's why he pops flies to right center to second base so many times. Oh, boy, oh, boy.
Ay, caramba. Okay. First to the plate now, or to the plate now, I should say, is Hunter Cullen. He walked in his first time up. Throw over to first, and Meggs needs to be careful. Meggs does have good legs.
Yeah.
He is second on the team in swiped bags.
Tomorrow, when you go down the dugout and you talk to Mike, tell him take a stride forward. Don't be leaning. Go ahead.
Did he call time? Is that why? He looks like he's tossing his belt to the dugout.
Oh, my. Yeah. Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
It's, well, needs to adjust his uniform, to say the least.
Yeah. But again, tell Mike, stride into the ball. Don't lean backwards and dip your shoulders so you swing it up. Go into it. Attack.
Attack.
That's the word. Attack.
Like a lion trying to go after a gazelle?
Right.
Okay. Did you see that movie?
No.
Lion King?
No.
No?
I don't watch movies unless they're on TV and I'm 30 years old.
First pitch to Cullen is fouled behind home plate. With all your grandchildren, you've never seen Disney movies with them?
Oh, I'm not saying that they're not playing. Okay. I'm not watching. I got my great-granddaughter at house right now. He will start school tomorrow. Okay. I have no control over the computer and the large TV, the big screen TV that we have in the living room. She occupies, comes in the house at 6:30 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
And
I'm still sleeping by then.
And there goes the TV. It's on these Walt Disney programs, and I just go outside on the porch and sit and watch TV out in the porch, and I get my news. But that's after going to church and coming home.
Okay. 0-1, the count to Cullen. Runner on first, Meggs.
Yeah.
And that must be at least the third time in this sequence that Curtis has thrown over to first to try to tag out Meggs, or pick him off, I should say. Jack needs to be careful. He does have the speed, but Curtis, the pitcher for the Crushers, has a decent pickoff move.
And the catcher's got a Kentucky rifle.
The 0-1, swing and a miss, a fastball that goes by Cullen. Count quickly at 0-2, 2 outs, no score. Bottom of the fourth here at Bosse Field between the Crushers and the Otters. It was scoreless through 4. It seemed like it was scoreless through 4 last night, but the Crushers had a 1-0 lead.
Yeah. But you just called it on Hunter here, insofar as it was a late swing. That ball was in the catcher's mitt before he swung.
De La Rosa sets up outside. This pitch is low and in the dirt for a ball.
Yeah.
Cullen now with the count at 1-2, who hit the go-ahead home run last night, is 8th of the season.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, a pretty good ball player. Very respectable Otter player. Yeah, the fans are quiet tonight.
Haven't seen much action.
Yep.
The 1-2, Meggs goes, throw it down to second base, and he is out. De La Rosa is 2 for 2 for caught stealing attempts from the Otters. We head to the top of the 5th. No score from Bosse Field on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811. Brought to you by Indiana 811.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank the Evansville Courier and Press for their support and coverage of Otters baseball. The Evansville Courier and Press provides news, sports, and weather coverage to the tri-state, both in a print and online edition. The Evansville Courier and Press can be found online at courierandpress.com, as well as on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. The Evansville Courier and Press, a member of the Journal Media Group.
GD Ritzy's is a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball. GD Ritzy's menu features hamburgers, grilled chicken sandwiches, old-fashioned peanut butter and jelly, and ice cream. With 3 Evansville locations: west at 4810 University Drive, on the north side at 4320 North 1st Avenue, and on the east side at 601 North Green River Road. GD Ritzy's is open from 10 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, and 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. GD Ritzy's, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
We have a smooth introduction as we come back to Bossy Field. We're in the top of the 5th inning.
You know, Dave, you're talking about this De La Rosa having a great arm, and he does. But not only does he have the arm strength, but he has the accuracy. And that is what really matters, is how accurate are you. You know, you can have a quick release with an average arm, but an accurate arm, and you're just as good as the guy that's got a bullet. And I would not be stealing against him. You know, we talk about keeping charts. Well, I don't have a chart, but I got one in my mind, my head, and I know what each ball player can do, and I don't need to have it written down. It's in my mind.
The 0-1 to Wofford, and that was a beautiful breaking ball from Nicely, moving the count quickly to 0-2. Nicely trying to get into a groove as we start the top of the 5th in a scoreless game at Bossy Field. Nicely now kicks and fires the 0-2 pitch. Another breaking ball, swing and a miss for strike 3. 2 of those 3 pitches were breaking balls, and Nicely made Wofford look foolish. 1 away in the top of the 5th. To the plate now is Aaron Hill, the second baseman. He is 0 for 2 today. He came into this game going 0 for 3 with 2 walks. He is now 0 for 5 in the series. Nicely digs in. He fires the first pitch. A pop-up. And that will go over the roof of Bossy Field. We hear the clunk to make sure it's a count at 0-1.
You know, one of the more refined and a Hall of Fame managers in baseball is a man that played here in 1952 with Quincy in the 3I League, and they call him the White Rat. You know who that is?
I don't.
Whitey Herzog.
Oh.
He played here in 1952 with Quincy. However, you know, what I'm referring to is the White Rat, Whitey never used charts. It was in his head.
Got it.
And he could, like my brother, the only 2.
I got to tell you, Bill, I'm sorry. That fastball blew right by Aaron Hill for strike 2.
He did. But Whitey and my brother were the only 2 guys that I know in professional baseball that when they were in front office, not managing, but when they were in the front office, that if you mentioned, let's say Hunter Cullen.
Cold strike 3, right down the heart of the plate. 2 up, 2 down, and the top of the 5th.
Yeah. But if you mention Hunter Cullen to them, they would say, oh, yeah, he plays with Evansville Otters. They knew everybody in professional baseball. There's not many people that could do that. And they didn't need charts or paper. It was in their head.
First pitch to Kraft. Fastball down Broadway for strike 1.
So any catcher should be like a computer back there. You know every batter's weakness.
Nicely kicks and fires the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt. And I got to tell you, his fastball has been humming so far today.
Yes, and he hasn't, what has he got now? Just 1, 2. Oh, he's got 4 strikeouts.
1-1. Swung on. Past J.J. Gould for a base hit.
I can't believe that. I cannot believe that. And what I can't believe is if J.J. was playing his normal position at shortstop, that was an easy ground out. I keep saying he shades to third, and he believes that they're charts, but everybody's not a pull hitter. See, there he goes. He's going back to over there, shading third. Look at that hole that's open. My God, 5 semis could go through it. That should have been an easy out. But enough of my bragging.
Okay. Emmanuel Marrero to the plate, and that's a most definite swing and a miss for strike one.
Somebody got to see him the way he plays. He's out of position. He's a good fielder. Nothing wrong with his fielding. Just that his position is wrong.
Positioning.
Good. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Nicely from the bell. Deep breath. 0-1. Runner goes. And there'll be a bouncing ball in the dirt. No throw from Riz as he gives Nicely a new baseball, A6.
Well,
let's see. What would you consider that?
It's a stolen base.
Okay.
Stolen base. I mean, it was a bad pitch. It was a breaking pitch, and Mike went down and blocked it with his chest protector, kept the ball in front of him, and that's why he couldn't throw it. He was picking it up off the dirt, but the guy was stealing, and yeah, it's a stolen base.
1-1 the count, 2 outs. Runner on second base and Kraft for the Crushers. No score in the top of the fifth from Bossy Field. Manuel Marrero at the plate, steps out of the box to call time. The switch hitter will now bat on the right side of the box to try to gain an advantage on the left-handed pitcher, Austin Nicely. Marrero today is 1 for 1 with a single that occurred in the first. He was then hit by a pitch in the third. The 1-1. Ground ball over the pitcher's mound, fielded by Cronin across to first, and that will end the inning. That was a tough hop over the pitcher's mound, but Cronin made that play look easy as we head to the bottom of the fifth. Scoreless game at Bossy Field right here on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
The Hoosier Lottery began selling lottery tickets on October 13, 1989. Since then, the Hoosier Lottery has offered hundreds of different games, awarded prizes to millions of players, and given billions of dollars to the state of Indiana. The Hoosier Lottery's mission is to responsibly provide innovative and entertaining lottery games for the benefit of the citizens of Indiana. To learn more about the Hoosier Lottery, visit them online at HoosierLottery.com. The Hoosier Lottery, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
Heritage Federal Credit Union has 7 full-service branches in both Evansville and Newburgh, serving more than 38,000 members. Membership is open to anyone who lives, works, worships, or attends school in Vanderburgh or Warwick County. Heritage Federal Credit Union offers mortgage and consumer loans, checking and savings accounts, as well as online banking for members. Heritage Federal Credit Union can be reached toll-free by phone at 1-800-858-1693. It can also be found online at hfcu.info.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Chapter 16, would like to take time to say, Go Otters! The IBEW Local 16's jurisdiction includes 13 counties in southwestern Indiana, as well as Wabash County in Illinois. Its members are divided into several categories of electrical work, including inside construction, maintenance electric, residential wiring, and sign classifications. More information on IBEW Local 16 can be found online at ibew16.net.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters Baseball. Dave Nguyen, Bill McCune on the call. We are scoreless at Bossy Field between the Lake Erie Crushers and the Evansville Otters. Sam Curtis on the mound, making his professional debut after graduating from college at William Jessup University.
If I may, Dave, I'd like to make a comment. We're in the bottom of the fifth.
Uh-huh.
And so far in this homestand and even those games that were on the road, you had Mr. Welsh, Mr. Beasley, Mr. Vale, Mr. Sittinger, and Nicely. All have been proficient in the first 5 innings of baseball. They have done a yeoman's job. They have done their work. And we need to get those bats going because, again, you know, you can't count on these starting pitchers to pitch outstanding every game. And they have, so I got to give my hat off to them.
1-0 to Cullen is in the dirt for a ball 2. And if we look at the seasonal scoring chart by inning, the Otters normally wake up. If they don't wake up in the third, they wake up in the fifth. They have scored 48 runs this season in the fifth inning, 54 runs in the seventh inning. The 2-0 pitch to Cullen is swung on, but it'll be a fly ball to Hubbard in right field. He comes under it and will make the catch for out number one. That caught towards the handle of the bat, and Cullen kind of underhanded or underchucked it to the outfield.
Undercut it.
Thank you.
Well, that's what I get paid for. To undercut you.
One away in the bottom of the fifth.
That's one of the reasons I enjoy working with you.
Appreciate it. Likewise. We got to keep it loose up here, right?
Oh, yeah.
Dakota Phillips to the plate. He's 1 for 4 today. 0 for 1 today with a strikeout. The man from Nacogdoches, Texas, had the Otters' first run last night with an RBI double. His first pitch is a fastball inside, chest high for a ball.
To the people out there in Otterville, you've got the hardest job. Any play-by-play man has the hardest job in radio announcing because there's so much dead time, and that's what you need.
1-0 swing and a drive to right field. It swung on well, and that ball hits the right field wall. Rounding first, heading to second is Dakota Phillips, sliding head first safely with a double. He crushed that one off the barrel of the bat to right field off the wall. A one-out double for the Iron Man.
Yeah, and that right fielder, that Hubbard out there, you know, he was kind of slow, but he did play it well off the wall. But his throw into second base was a lob. So I don't know, you know, Phillips doesn't have the best speed, but anyway, for the Otters, they've got the benefit.
To the plate now is J.J. Gould. He is 0 for 1 today with a ground out, but he swung on the first pitch of the at-bat.
Yeah. Am I right when well, never mind. I'm not going to make a comment.
Okay. Runner in scoring position for the Otters. The second double of the series for Phillips. First pitch to J.J. is popped up and foul on top of the roof of Bosse Field. Count at 0-1 with 1 out. No score between the Crushers and the Otters. We're in the bottom of the fifth.
If I can get back to Phillips's double there, remember I kept saying that your right fielder out there, Mr.
Hubbard,
is playing shallow. He paid the penalty then.
The 0-1 from Curtis. Swing and a miss. That was a good breaking ball there. Moving the count quickly to 0-2. Curtis, fresh out of college, making his first professional start in his career.
And he's doing a terrific job. I mean, his slider is wicked. Got good fastball. Sometimes maybe his control is not there. He's kind of high occasionally, but not bad.
0-2 the count to J.J. Phillips on second, the 0-2 pitch. Dropping in there this time for a ball, a fastball from Curtis. That was a bit inside. Count moves to 1-2 with 1 out. As a kid, and a Lucky fan walks up here with a vanilla ice cream cone.
And that ice cream is delicious here. My wife has one every game.
Nice. I got a big sweet tooth, Bill. I'm not going to lie. 1-2 is fouled away.
No.
What, you prefer soft serve or you like the hard ice cream?
I'm not an ice cream eater.
You're not an ice cream eater?
No,
what?
No.
Bill.
No,
Bill.
I occasionally have ice cream, but not. You know, people say, well, give me pie Alamo. Just give me the pie.
Just
Don't
give you
mind
the pie?
Alamo. Yeah.
What is the Alamo?
The ice cream on the top of the,
okay.
pie.
Never heard of it called that.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'm not saying it properly, but, you know, I wasn't at the Alamo.
The 1-2, a cold strike 3 to J.J. Gould for out number 2. J.J. is not happy with that call, and the Otter faithful supports him. I got to tell you, not only these fans are loyal, they're pretty smart, too.
Oh, yes, they are. You ought to talk to some of them like I do. Of course, I've been here so long that, they think I was born here. But, they're quite freely with their rhetoric with me. And it's amazing how much they know baseball and how loyal they are to the Otters and how critical they can be.
To the plate now is David Cronin. He was hit by a pitch in his knee in his last at-bat. He is 0 for 1 with a strikeout swinging. De La Rosa sets up outside to the lefty Cronin, and that pitch is high and away from Curtis for a ball. 1-0 the count. Phillips on second with the one-out double that hit off the wall in right field. I believe off the marathon sign out there in right field.
Right now, you notice the right fielder is playing a little deeper. Maybe he anticipates that Mr. Cronin can put one over his head.
The 1-0 will be swung on foul behind home plate. Count now even at 1. The infield of the Crushers are playing Cronin to pull towards the right side as the shortstop Marrero plays almost directly behind second base. The third baseman Wofford on the edge of the infield grass in case of a bunt, although I don't expect that in this sequence. The second baseman Hill shaded towards the middle between the first and second base bag, and guarding the line at first base is Dale Burdick. 1-1 the count. The next pitch will be a breaking ball in the dirt, and the count will move to 2-1. Now, normally in that situation I would say, hey, you should wear that pitch, but I think the knee of Cronin is at least stinging a bit. So I don't think he wants to get plucked again.
Well, I think David is a warrior.
That's right.
And by that, I mean, if he's got one leg, he's still going to play. And I don't mean that to insult anybody, but what I'm trying to say is no matter what the injury is,
he's tough.
He's tough.
2-1 the count, 2 outs, no score, bottom of the 5th. Phillips on second for the Otters. The pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt, and I got to tell you, De La Rosa not has only shown his arm, but he's got great defense blocking various breaking balls from the pitchers today and Sam Curtis. Last night, the relievers for the Crushers were a bit wild, and can't put all the blame on De La Rosa for last night.
Oh, no. Yet, everybody does blame the catcher. When the ball gets by home plate, it's always the catcher's fault. No one looks at the wild pitch. So you're right. He's a good defensive catcher.
De La Rosa sets up outside. The 3-1 is popped up. Foul territory. Third base side. Wofford is there. And he will make the catch as he falls to the ground to end the inning. Phillips was stranded at second as we are 5 up and 5 down, scoreless at Bossy Field, heading to the 6th. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
The Tri-State Area Marathon service stations are proud supporters of the Evansville Otters. Marathon has over 5,100 Marathon-branded stations nationwide, and a full list of area Marathon stations and a list of daily gas prices are available online at mymarathonstation.com. Marathon provides products which support commercial, industrial, and retail operations. Marathon's slogan is Fueling the American Spirit.
The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's. I'm in the mood for pizza and I'm ready to go. The Pizza Brick Road goes to Tyroni's. So follow me down the Pizza Brick Road. Road down to Tyroni's. The Pizza Brick Road. The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's.
This Evansville Otters broadcast is made possible through support from New Image Travel. New Image Travel provides motor coach charter service to the United States and Canada with pickup within a 150-mile radius of Evansville. A full list of New Image Travel's offerings can be found online at newimagecharter.com. New Image Travel can be reached toll-free at 1-800-432-6213. New Image Travel, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
It's a nice day for a white wedding, but it's a nice night for some baseball. As we come back to Bossy Field in the top of the 6th, no score between the Lake Erie Crushers and the Evansville Otters. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. And Bill, I saw you raising your eyebrow to me. The song that led into this inning is called White Wedding by Billy Idol. First pitch to Burdick is low and away, a fastball. It's in the dirt for a ball. Count it 1-0 to Burdick.
Well, David, I hate to say it. I was born at the wrong time. I don't go for that jazz.
1-0 is a called strike on the outside corner.
I don't know how to use the GPS. I don't know how to use the telephone, computer. I got a great-granddaughter has to show me things, and time has passed me.
You still got it where it counts, Bill.
Well, it's embedded within this...
cranium?
Oh, that's a great word. Yes, the cranium. It's embedded there.
The 2-1 from Nicely will be fouled behind home plate. Count now even at 2. No outs. And Nicely, the last time he pitched was against these Lake Erie Crushers. He threw a 9-inning, 5-hit shutout against Lake Erie last Wednesday. The 2-2. He'll be fouled away once more down the right field line.
Well, you can't count on these starting pitchers to go out there every game, hold the opposing team to 1 or 2 possible runs, and say, hey, come on, fellas, help me out.
2-2. Swing and a miss. A high fastball from Austin Nicely gets Burdick to chase for out number 1. It'll bring up Zach Rakusin, who had 2 RBIs last night, as well as a single. The 2 RBIs came on groundouts. He is 1 for 4 heading into this game. Today, he is 1 for 2. A single that occurred in the 2nd, and a fly out to center field in the 4th. Nicely fires. Swung on, foul territory, and that will bounce into the bullpen on the Otters side of the first base. Count moves to 0-1 with 1 out.
Yeah, he was a little late on that swing, and Broadway Charlie Wagner, one of my old-time favorites, a major league pitcher, major league pitching coach.
0-1. Fouled away once more down the right field line.
Would describe this pitching hitting situation right here saying, hey, if he keeps fouling off the balls and can't put it in play, don't give him anything off speed that he can put it into play. Keep throwing the fastball.
0-2.
Which he did, see?
That will be popped up, fouled down the first base line once more. Count remains at 0-2. We're heading into pitch number 4.
Now that's 3 pitches, 3 foul balls, all to the first base side. Again, he hasn't gotten that bat around to make contact to put the ball into the playing field.
0-2. Upstairs for a ball.
Broadway Charlie Wagner was Ted Williams' roommate.
Best hitter to ever play, right?
Oh, you ain't kidding. And a great war hero.
The 1-2 pitch. Yeah. Upstairs for ball 2.
And that was a breaking pitch, and it was off speed. Anyway, Ted Williams, two tours of duty in World War II and the Korean War. So probably would have batted 500 maybe.
The 2-2.
Yeah.
Swing and a late foul tip.
Yeah.
By Zach Rakusin. And the count will remain even at 2.
You know, as a former catcher, just on that particular play, I know Mike is saying, oh, boy, he tips it, but it goes in the glove and just comes right out because it didn't go in the glove, the pocket squarely. And, you don't expect it because, again, it's deflecting off the bat. In the old days, that's how us catchers got split fingers and broken bones.
2-2 the count, 1 out.
Johnny Bench was the first catcher in modern time to put his hand behind his back so he wouldn't break any fingers.
This pitch is swung on well towards right field, but playable for McNamee, and he makes the catch for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down. We're in the top of the 6th. No score from Bossy Field between the Otters and the Crushers. To the plate now is Jake Veith, who is a strikeout victim of Austin Nicely. Veith is over 2, 0 for 2, I should say, with a strikeout in the 2nd and a ground out in the 4th. First pitch, swing and a miss. It's that curveball right there from Nicely, counted 0-1.
Now, I'm going to interject and maybe be negative in this comment I'm going to make, but I'm going to make it anyway.
Okay.
I get myself in trouble for saying a lot of times
0-1.
I shouldn't. But anyway, here we have Nicely doing well. He's given up 4 hits, no runs, and we've in the past taken, maybe he goes the 7th inning, and we've taken these people out and brought in relievers where I thought they should let the guy go, even if he's going 110 or 20 pitches. If he's doing so well, leave him out there. So I'm hoping that Nicely is not replaced, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, he pitched a complete game shutout. He had over 110 pitches in that game. This pitch is swung on. Fly ball. Cullen on his horse, and he won't be able to get there in time. It is a blooping single to center field for Jake Veith. Third time is a charm for the Crushers' designated hitter.
Now here comes our right fielder, Mr. Hubbard.
Dre Hubbard, 0 for 4 heading into this game. He is 0 for 1, grounding out into a double play that occurred in the 2nd. He walked back in the 4th. 0 for 5 heading into this at-bat. Nicely from the belt. Riz will set up inside. Fastball in there for a strike. 0-1 the count, 2 outs. No score, top of the 6th. Nicely 61 strikes, 37 balls.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
The 0-1 pitch. Right in there for strike 2. Back-to-back fastballs from Austin Nicely. Crowd behind the Otters lefty on the mound. Nicely from the belt. The 0-2. Ground ball foul down the third base line.
Come back with the fastball high and inside, but he got around it, got around on it, and foul ball. Let's see if he can duplicate that.
Former 10th round pick of the Houston Astros.
10th round, not bad.
The 0-2. Ground ball foul once more down the third base line. He was initially drafted, he was going to be a 5th round draft pick by the Mariners, and he turned that down because he thought that the offer and everything that was going to be valued by the Mariners wasn't equivalent to what he wanted.
Now, is that he telling you this?
Austin did tell me that, yeah.
Oh, Austin. Oh, no, I thought you meant the batter.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Austin Nicely had a full ride to the University of Virginia. He committed. He was then could have been selected in the 5th round by the Mariners. He turned that down. And then on his way driving to his high school graduation, he gets a call from his father as he takes a deep breath. 0-2 the count, 2 outs. Riz will set up inside. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, a high fastball for strike number 3. Nicely brought the heat on that one to get the Otters out of the inning. I'll come back with my story, as well as the bottom of the 6th, right here from Bossy Field, 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
Why Old National Bank? Old National Bank began in 1834 with just one room and a passion for helping people prosper. Today, we are honored and grateful to be the financial partner for so many businesses, families, and individuals like you. From our commitment to safety and security to our promise of service that will exceed your expectations, we want to be your bank for life. Old National Bank, member FDIC.
The local Pepsi bottling group features Pepsi Company products for distribution to retailers and vendors in the tri-state and would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. The Pepsi bottling group has locations at 2605 West Marion Street in Marion, Illinois, 3081 Contronics Drive in Owensboro, Kentucky, and 11733 West Industrial Park Drive in Elberfeld, Indiana. Information on Pepsi products can be found online at PepsiCo.com. Pepsi, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
WUEV listeners, you can catch Evansville Otters baseball this week, Tuesday through Sunday on 91.5 FM WUEV. And remember, the Otters pregame warm-up begins 15 minutes prior to first pitch. You can listen on 91.5 FM, WUEV.org, EvansvilleOtters.com, and through TuneIn Radio. It's Evansville Otters baseball on WUEV.
Today, we are honored and grateful to be the financial partner for so many businesses, families, and individuals like you. From our commitment to safety and security to our promise of service that will exceed your expectations, we want to be your bank for life. Old National Bank, member FDIC.
The local Pepsi bottling group features Pepsi Company products for distribution to retailers and vendors in the tri-state and would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. The Pepsi bottling group has locations at 2605 West Marion Street in Marion, Illinois, 3081 Contronics Drive in Owensboro, Kentucky, and 11733 West Industrial Park Drive in Elberfeld, Indiana. Information on Pepsi products can be found online at PepsiCo.com. Pepsi, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
WUEV listeners, you can catch Evansville Otters baseball this week, Tuesday through Sunday on 91.5 FM WUEV. And remember, the Otters pregame warm-up begins 15 minutes prior to first pitch. You can listen on 91.5 FM, WUEV.org, EvansvilleOtters.com, and through TuneIn Radio. It's Evansville Otters baseball on WUEV.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters baseball. Dave Nguyen, Bill McCune on the call. We're in the bottom of the sixth inning. We have been scoreless. Another pitcher's duel just like last night between Vale and Leday.
Yeah, all of our starting pitchers lately have done a yeoman's job. You know, you were just asked me, he's got 114. You
114.
Said 114.
67 strikes, 37 balls for Austin Nicely.
And would I leave him in? I said yes, I'd let him go next inning and the inning after that if I have to, or the inning after that. They can't throw 150. You know, one of the jobs I used to do when I was working in the major leagues and recommending people for trades and such.
They have developed a good relationship the past couple of years being here in Evansville. So Nicely, fully committed to the University of Virginia. He's a senior in high school. The 0-1 pitch to Long is outside for a ball. Count even at 1. So Nicely declined a potential fifth-round selection in the MLB draft by the Seattle Mariners. He then is driving in his car on the way to his high school graduation in Grottoes, Virginia. Here's the 1-1 to Long. Outside for ball 2. Count at 2-1.
Okay, his father calls him on the road, and what happens now?
His dad goes, the Astros are on the phone. You have 60 seconds to make your decision if you want to play Major League Baseball for the Astros or go to the University of Virginia. And tell me quickly because the clock is ticking. Imagine a life-changing decision that you have to make in 60 seconds.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I did that to Joey Cora.
Oh, yeah?
I said, yeah, if you don't make a decision and sign with me now, I'm getting on the airplane tomorrow morning, and I'm not coming back.
Wow.
So I signed him.
Okay. So Nicely says, you know what? Let's go play baseball. And foregoes, as Ryan Long will work a walk, his second of the evening. So Austin Nicely would forego a scholarship to the University of Virginia. And he was drafted in the 10th round of the 2013 MLB draft, I believe. I'm going to have to double-check that. But drafted out of high school, graduated high school, saw his draft selection on Twitter, had a good family friend celebration, and then he took a plane down to, I believe, Florida to meet up with the Astros to sign the contract, and then played a few years in the Houston Astros organization from 14 to 17, and then he took a break as he was not healthy throughout his minor league season after his first year. And I think that's one of the major factors for athletes in general. The best attribute you can have is to stay healthy.
Oh, yeah.
So Nicely is trying to make another comeback, as he is here in Evansville. He made 20 starts for the team last year, and right now he's pitching very well. And it's unfortunate that he will most likely be exiting the game as Drew Byer is warming up for the Otters in the bullpen down on the first base side. Nicely, I don't have anything else to say, but I'm going to tip my cap to him. 6 strikeouts, 6 scoreless innings, only allowed 5 hits.
Oh, I'll tip my hat twice to him because, again, he's done an outstanding job. He belongs back on that mound. I don't care 114 pitches or not. I mean, this guy, he's a professional. Most of these pitchers have been throwing since February. Well, one of the greatest aspects that we found in scouting the Latin ball player was the fact that they're throwing something, rocks or baseballs or whatever, constantly down in Latin America. And that's why they all have strong arms, whether it's the infielders, outfielders, or pitchers. A Latin player has a strong, strong arm because he's utilized it. Now, I know I'm patting myself on the back. I grew up with my brother and others, and we were quite successful in playing. A lot of us played minor league baseball. We used to practice throwing from center field home all the time. We strengthen our arms.
This pitch is popped up near right field, playable for Hubbard, and he makes the catch from McNamee for out number 2.
I got after my son, Jeff, my youngest son, Jeff, who's coaching now baseball. And I was saying, you guys warm up anymore. From first to second, second to third, that's 90 feet. Yet you go out there before the game and you warm up and you throw the ball 60 feet. None of you throw it 90. Now, how do you strengthen your arm if you shortchange it all the time? And that's why I don't think let's go back to my day of playing here in Evansville. Okay.
Just want to let the audience know that there is a mound visit and the Crushers have gone to the pen. And I got Sam Curtis in his first professional start.
Did a good job.
Yes. Go ahead, Bill.
No, I was going to say, 60 years ago, if Nicely did well tonight, he'd be pitching batting practice tomorrow night. He'd be pitching batting practice. Then he could rest. But what he's doing tomorrow night is loosening up his arm. And you don't see that today. They'll say, oh, no, it hurt his arm. Oh, my God, no. People, too much psychology, not enough common sense. Oh, boy. I get worked up when I think of these things.
No, that's all right. I got to tell you, back-to-back pitchers duels, it may not be a spectator's favorite, but if you're a really good fan of baseball or a geek about the sport, is that you can't duplicate these pitcher performances that we have seen.
Well, didn't we see last night the 2 starting pitchers both doing well, and then they got yanked, and then in comes their relievers, and both kind of fall on the wayside. And the great pitching they did earlier, just like these 2 guys, hey, they didn't give up any runs. They shouldn't be replaced.
So on the mound now will be Kent Hasler. He has a 2.22 ERA, 5-3 record in 29 games. He has 4 saves in 44.2 innings pitched. He has allowed 29 hits, 13 runs, 11 of them earned, 20 walks, but get this, Bill, 61 strikeouts.
61 strikeouts, and what did you say, 20 walks?
21.
21 walks, 60 strikeouts. In other words, he throws strikes.
So that'll be good for Meggs, who's approaching the plate with a runner on first and Ryan Long with 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the 6th. And Mother T is checking in. She says hello.
Well, hello to that beautiful young lady that's out there that used to live in Indiana.
That's right.
And whose children were educated in not Evansville, but Indiana, Terre Haute.
There we go.
You know, every time I think of Mrs. T and her husband, who was the college coach out there in Washington, and I know you've mentioned it several times how Jack played for his father, and what an honor it is. And I coached my son in college, and it is an honor. And, you know, you're so proud, and my son was inducted into the college Athletic Hall of Fame, which makes me really, really proud, you know, that I was his coach, and he excelled in the sport.
Wow.
He's a better coach than I am, by the way. Oh, what a gap there is over second base.
First pitch from Hasler is away for a ball. Count at 1-0. Hasler coming in for Curtis, who did an excellent job for the Crushers today.
Yeah. That second baseman playing deep first base.
They're playing Meggs to pull. 1-0 is a chopper to the second baseman Hill. Throw over to first in time for out number 3. We head to the top of the 7th, scoreless at Bosse Field. You're listening to Evansville Network and 91.5 WUEV.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank Sinorama Evansville for their support this season. Sinorama Evansville is a multi-application supplier of custom-made signs, banners, and decals in the tri-state. Located at 1300 North Royal Avenue in Evansville, Sinorama is open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. They can be reached by phone at 812-477-7763 and can be found online at sinorama.com/in-Evansville. Sinorama Evansville, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
91.5 WUEV would like to thank the Boca Lounge for its support. Thursdays, get all the blues you can use with Bosco France and Friends at 6 p.m. Then at 9:30, it's open mic with the On Tap Project. The Boca Lounge, 1007 Parrott Street in downtown Evansville.
Since 1994, Slays Restoration has been assisting tri-state residents clean up and restore their properties after disasters of all kinds. Located at 2121 Cotter Avenue in Evansville, Slays Restoration offers assistance for water damage, fire and smoke damage, mold and biohazard mitigation, complete reconstruction, and much more. Slays Restoration can be reached toll-free 24 hours a day at 1-888-776-8555. It can also be found online at slaysrestoration.com.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters baseball right here on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network. Dave Nguyen, Bill McCune on the call. We are scoreless at Bosse Field as we have a pitching change for the Otters. Drew Byer comes in from the Otters bullpen. Austin Nicely's day is done, and here is his line. Nicely 6 scoreless innings, only allowed 5 hits, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Austin Nicely, our hat is tipped to you.
Yes, he deserves better. He deserves to win, as well as all these pitchers who have been starters who have done outstanding jobs. You know, people are listening to us on the radio don't have the chance to see that last play where Jack Meggs hit the ball to second baseman. It was a big high chop, and Ryan Long was on first base, and Ryan stepped more or less to deflect the second baseman from seeing the ball so that, you know, it would go into the outfield, and then, of course, Meggs would get a hit. So that was heads-up play on on Ryan Long's baseball knowledge.
So to the plate will be Brian De La Rosa, followed by Brody Wofford and Aaron Hill. for batters 8, 9, and 1 in the Crushers' order. Byer on the mound with a 4.59 ERA, 17.2 innings pitched, has allowed 23 hits, 10 runs, 9 of them earned, 5 walks, and 19 strikeouts. His first pitch to De La Rosa drops in there for strike one.
Yeah, pretty good breaking pitch on that first pitch from the new pitcher.
The 0-1 pitch from Byer. Off speed, dropping in there for strike two.
Yeah, he just copycatted that ball.
Looks like it was a curve.
It was. Off-speed curveball. Now let's see what he comes back with. He's given 2 off-speed, maybe 78, 80-mile-an-hour curveballs. Let's see if he comes back with a 90-mile fastball.
0-2 is a breaking ball in the dirt.
And he come back with the curveball.
Count moves now to 1-2. You said school started today?
School was open for the Vandenberg School Corporation. Yes, today was. Warwick starts tomorrow.
Okay.
My great-granddaughter starts tomorrow, but Vandenberg was today.
Okay. Riz will set up inside the 1-2. That's 2 inside for a ball.
Yeah, so watch yourself when you're driving, going past these schools that you don't want to speed. You got kids coming out, off the buses, racing to mom who's waiting in a car somewhere on the street.
2-2 will be fly ball foul. Phillips trying to hustle. Can he get there? No. Good effort there by Dakota Phillips, though, as that ball will bounce foul down the first base line. So coming into this series, the Crushers had one of the better, arguably the best pitching staff in the Frontier League. They lead the league in strikeouts with 654. They have given up the third least amount of balls and 230, or walks, I should say. They have given up the third least amount of home runs with 46. They have given up the least amount of hits in 513, and they hold the opposing batting average to the teams that they face is at 220. The next pitch from Byer is inside for a ball, moving the count full.
That's quite an accomplishment.
And they have the number 1 ERA collectively at a 3.10.
Yeah. That's why they're in first place.
So runs coming against the Crushers will be at a premium.
So that tells you one thing.
Payoff pitch is away for ball 4.
That tells you one thing, Dave, and that is runs are hard to come by with this team. You better play a small ball. Move the runners over with bunts and not steals. And just hope that you get a runner on. Move them over to second on the bunt and hope that we can have a base hit for a run. Don't go for the long ball.
Wofford to the plate. He is 0 for 2 today with a strikeout that occurred back in the 5th inning. And he popped up to Cronin. There's a first pitch strike from Byer, moving the count to 0-1.
Did he
freeze him?
He load up on that one, and I'm just looking. He's got, 2 strikeouts already? The way he went after that pitch, he's going to strike out again if he continues.
The 0-1. Be dropping in there. Fastball for strike 2. Runner on first, no outs. Scoreless. We're in the top of the 7th. 5 runs for the Crushers, or 5 hits for the Crushers, I should say, and 3 hits for the Otters.
Dale Long's moving back now.
The 0-2 pitch will be fouled behind home plate as a piece of the bat of Wofford was able to scratch the baseball and puts it, or foul it, behind home plate. Count remains at 0-2, no outs. In a pitcher's duel that occurred between Curtis and Nicely, both pitchers have exited the game. Runner goes. Throw down to first.
He's out.
And he gets him in time. Bang, bang play from Mike Rizzatello. And the batter struck out, so that will be an unconventional double play.
Yes, and that was a breaking pitch. He just stood there and watched it, and that little Mike that you call Big Mike threw a very accurate, quick release, strong arm throw to second. And, boy, that helped that pitcher out of the jam.
Well, it goes to show that the practice and the extra work of Mike Rizzatello when he got to the ballpark earlier today, practicing blocking balls as well as standing up in his catcher's position to release the baseball after a pitch was thrown. It paid off on that particular throw to J.J. Gould.
Well, how many times have you had that situation where the tie score or the Otters, oh boy, the Otters are ahead by one, and Big Mike has really come through with a bullet to second and nabbed that runner and got the Otters out of a jam. He's a good defensive catcher. He's got a good release. He's got a good accurate arm. The only thing is he hits off his back foot.
1-1 the count. Riz will now set up outside. The next pitch. That'll be upstairs off speed for a ball from Beyer. Count at 2-1, 2 outs. The Otters have had runners on the corners that occurred earlier in this game, but since then they haven't had many runners on base, let alone runners in scoring position. The 2-1, swing and a miss. A fastball blows right by Aaron Hill to even the count at 2 with 2 outs. Hill today is 0 for 3. He was 0 for 3 yesterday. Make that now 0 for 6 with 3 strikeouts heading into this at-bat. Beyer trying to get the Otters out of this inning. Riz will set up outside to the right-handed batter. The 2-2 pitch. Upstairs for ball 3.
Well, we need this out, and we need the Zane to sing "Take Me Out to the Ballpark" and
score some runs.
Score some runs, yes.
The payoff pitch from Beyer. Swing and a miss. A breaking ball from Drew Beyer. A strikeout gets the Otters out of the inning. Stretch time at Bosse Field in a scoreless game between the Otters and the Crushers. Back after this on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
7th inning stretch time. Get up and move. We're
WUEV Evansville.
The 5th annual Blues on the Rock concert will take place on Sunday, September 1st at Rockport City Park in Rockport, Indiana. Gates open at noon, and live music starts at 2 p.m. with Jonas Cowan, Beyond Blue, Bosco France, Muddy Gut, and headliner Sean Murphy. The event will also feature multiple food and drink vendors as well as an art contest. If you'd like more information on the event, you can contact the River Basin Blues Society at evansvilleblues.com or visit the River Basin Blues Society Facebook page.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters Baseball. Dave Nguyen, Bill McCune on the call. A scoreless game as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Right here at Bosse Field between the Otters and the Crushers. Well, Bill, you say it often, but remind the folks and say it again. What normally happens in the 7th inning?
Well, the Otters traditionally have scored many of their runs in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. They are a late comeback type team.
And throughout the season, the Otters have scored the most runs of the year in the 7th, 54 after last night. They head into this game scoring 54 runs in the 7th inning. It'll be Mike Rizzatello, Hunter Cullen, and Dakota Phillips for batters 6, 7, and 8
All right.
in the Otters order.
Mike's got to attack the ball, not be a defensive and hit off his back foot. Attack the ball. By that, I'm referring to you stride with your weight and your body going forward, rotating your hips.
Righty matchup as Hasler back on for his second appearance in this game. The first pitch is a fastball upstairs to Riz. Count at 1-0.
Yeah, sometimes you might hear someone refer to him as a, let's see what happens here.
1-0 the count to Rizzatello. The next pitch will be fouled behind home plate.
See where Mike's weight is. So he's dipping the back shoulder. He's got an uppercut, and he's got to be late and swinging. Mike last year had a lot to right field as well. But a lunger is what I'm trying to say. A lunger is one that's way out. He's striding before the ball's pitched.
The 1-1.
Ooh.
That almost hit Rizzatello. He'll back out of the batter's box, uses his reflexes, and the count moves to 2-1. Hunter Cullen on deck. He was last night's hero, hitting a solo home run in the bottom of the 8th. The 2-1 pitch.
Oh, my.
That'll drop in there for a strike 2. 2-2 the count to Riz. No outs. Bottom of the 7th. No score. So far we have had 2 straight pitchers' duels in this series. Otters won last night 5-4 off the bat of Hunter Cullen. The 2-2 pitch is foul down the first base line.
And Mr. Vale, who pitched outstanding last night, was not the winner, just like tonight. Here we got nicely pitched beautifully, but yet we'll walk away with no win. I believe Welsh and Beasley were the same, if I'm not mistaken.
Hasler comes set. The 2-2. Upstairs for ball 3. Big inning for both teams, most importantly the Otters, as they have scored a majority of their runs of the season in the 7th inning. Last night was evident. They scored 3 to take the lead at the time by a score of 4-2 before heading into the 8th inning last night. De La Rosa sets up inside. The 3-2 pitch is popped up. Right field. Hubbard thinks he might have it, and he does for out number 1.
Unless someone talks to Mike about that particular style of hitting, like I just said, he's going to be a lot of fly ball pop-ups to second and right field or right center because he's hitting off the back foot. And he's hitting the ball right before it goes into the catcher's mitt.
To the plate now is Hunter Cullen. Hunter is 0 for 1 with a walk in the 2nd and a fly out to right field in the 5th. Lefty-righty matchup. The center fielder digs into the box. First pitch is a ball outside. Lefty-righty matchup. Count at 1-0, 1 out. Cullen hitting .276 on the season. He was 2 for 3 last night with a walk, a single, and the solo home run. Hasler from the left side of the rubber, the 1-0. And that'll be dropping in the dirt for a ball. 2-0 the count, 1 out. It seems that the center fielder in Kraft is playing pretty deep.
Yes, and he's shading, maybe 5 foot, 10 foot to the right side. Assuming it's a pull.
The 2-0 to Cullen. Breaking ball in the dirt.
Now here we have that situation, Dave, that I dread. 3 balls, no strikes on the batter. And
Who should take a strike?
Andy allows them, and I'm not saying it's Andy's fault by no means, but Andy allows them to swing on a 3-0 count, which I would say, hey, from now on, take a pitch.
3-0. Ball 4.
Okay.
4 straight pitches to Hunter Cullen was low and away. The Otters have a base runner here in the 7th.
Now, remember, Hunter was on base and tried to steal in earlier innings and was thrown out respectfully. I will not gamble on trying to steal. This guy's got the Kentucky rifle, and it's accurate.
Phillips is 1 for 2 with a double that occurred in the 5th. It was a rocket off the marathon sign in right field.
And Mr.
Phillips?
Hubbard is out there in right field.
Now he's playing a little bit more deeper.
Yes, thank you kindly.
No problem. The infield of Lake Erie's playing Phillips to pull to the right side of the infield, as there is an open hole on the opposite side between the shortstop Marrero and the third baseman Wofford. Marrero playing behind second base rather than a traditional shortstop. 0-1 the count to Phillips after the first pitch. Strike. Here's the next pitch. That'll be in there. For strike 2.
Yep. At least this umpire is indicating as soon as the catcher receives it, he's telling you what the pitch is, rather than some umpires that we sit and hear and guess. We don't know what they're calling.
0-2 the count. 1 out to Phillips. Cullen on first. He worked a walk. 0-2. Ball upstairs.
Seems the pitcher kind of got his feet tangled on that throw. And notice how he jumped on his release to get his balance, because, I don't know, that back foot dragged, I guess.
So the first pitch to Phillips was inside for a strike. The next pitch was able to go down the middle, then sink towards the end for strike 2. Third pitch was away for a ball. We'll see what Hasler, the reliever, will want to do here to Phillips. De La Rosa sets up inside the 1-2. Ground ball to Hill at second. To shortstop for 1, to first. And that will be the 4-6-3 double play to end the inning. We head to the 8th, scoreless from Bossy Field on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
The Tin Fish Restaurant is located at 707 State Street in Newburgh, Indiana. Independently owned and operated, the Tin Fish menu featured salads and sandwiches, as well as seafood platters and combos, and seafood burritos, tacos, and burgers. The Tin Fish Restaurant is open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. They can be reached by phone at 812-490-7000. Visit them online at tinfishnewburgh.com. The Tin Fish Restaurant, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
SRG Global, a Guardian company, would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. Founded in 1932, SRG Global is one of the world's largest manufacturers of chrome-plated plastic parts for the automotive, commercial truck, and household appliance industry. Located locally at 601 North Congress Avenue in Evansville, SRG Global can be found online at srgglobal.com. They can also be reached in Evansville by phone at 812-477-6151.
Injuries are inevitable. It doesn't matter if you're playing baseball, walking the dog, or falling from a ladder. Injuries happen. When they do, Tri-State Orthopedics offers treatment for sprains, strains, and fractures by medical specialists. Tri-State Orthopedics is located at 225 Cross Lake Drive in Evansville, just north of the Lloyd and I-164. Tri-State Orthopedics can be reached by phone at 812-477-1558. Its urgent care line is 812-474-OUCH. Tri-State Orthopedics, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters baseball. Dave Nguyen, Bill McCune on the call as you're listening to 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network. We are scoreless heading to the top of the 8th. Drew Byer on the mound for his second inning of work. To the plate for the Crushers will be Stephen Kraft, followed by Marrero and Burdick for batters 2, 3, and 4 in the order. Byer digs in the first pitch. Be a ball just outside for ball 1. A righty-righty matchup. Kraft today is 1 for 2 with a single, a strikeout, as well as a walk. Next pitch drops in there, fastball for strike 1. Count now even at 1 with no outs in the top of the 8th.
I don't have the statistics you do, Dave, but I believe in the last 2 weeks.
1-1. Drops right in there for strike 2.
I would say in the last 2 weeks, runs for the Otters have been few and far between.
That's right.
Losing 1-0 and 4-3, and so we might have won a game 2-1 too. But
next pitch is fouled behind home plate. Count remains at 1-2.
We haven't had that 8-2 score or something like. We did have one the other day, 8-2, I believe, but
not in our favor.
Yeah, but the thing is, we haven't scored many runs.
The 1-2, breaking ball in the dirt.
Do we have anyone else warming in the bullpen?
Nope.
Okay.
The Lake Erie bullpen is active right now.
Yeah.
2-2. Fastball upstairs for ball 3.
Well, we've used Mr. Wright the last 2 nights. So he pitched 2 innings one night and 1 inning last night, and I don't believe we'd use him tonight.
Although he was stretching earlier.
Was he?
Payoff pitch is fouled late by Kraft. Count remains full. Yes, he was. If he was using the bands down there on the fence by the bullpen.
Okay.
Warming up will be Dalton Geeky in the pen for the Crushers. Payoff pitch, swing and a miss, another strikeout for Byer. 1 away in the top of the 8th.
That's about 3 strikeouts for Byer.
That's right.
So he's come in and kind of put the fire out, if there is one, if there was one.
To the plate now is Emmanuel Marrero. Marrero is 1 for 2 today. A single back in the first. He was hit by a pitch in the third, and a ground out back in the 5th. The switch hitter will now stand in on the left side of the box against the right-hander Byer. First pitch, right down the middle for strike 1. Off speed from Byer. 1 out, top of the 8th, no score, 5 hits for the Crushers, 3 for the Otters. This pitch has popped up, and Emmanuel Marrero knew it too. It is to right center field, and Cullen is there for out number 2.
Why did he look up here like, he's looking up there somewhere. What's he doing?
I don't know. I don't know if there is chatter on the field. May have had some choice words for somebody, but it was a little unusual to see.
Oh, there he is again. He keeps looking up somewhere, and I don't know.
You think he could have heard me?
He wasn't looking up at you. No,
okay.
No. He was looking up somewhere over first base.
Oh, okay.
In that area.
First pitch to Burdick is a called strike.
But he was looking up like in the stands. Not directly to the dugout or anything, unless he was indicating.
0-1 foul on the roof of Bossy Field for strike 2. Burdick today is 0 for 3 with a strikeout back in the 6th and 2 flyouts back in the 1st and 3rd. 0-2 the count, 2 outs. Riz will set up inside. 0-2 pitch. And that'll be in there for a ball as it was 2 inside. Count moves to 1-2. Nicely started this game for the Otters. 6 scoreless innings with 6 strikeouts. Fastball was effective. The 1-2 from Beyer will be fouled late on the tip of the bat of Burdick. Count remains at 1-2. Caught the edge of the barrel of the bat. Long playing a deep third. Gould playing in on the edge of the outfield grass at shortstop. Cronin playing at normal second base depth. And playing deep at first is Phillips. Ground ball foul down the third base line. And we'll go back at it again as this will be pitch number 6 of the at-bat.
Oh, and Ryan Long just threw a beautiful strike in the stands to someone up there with a red shirt holding 2 balloons.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. That was nice.
1-2 the count, 2 outs in the top of the 8th. Scoreless game, the pitch. Be off speed and just fouling that one off as Burdick. Count remains at 1-2 as we head into pitch number 7.
Yeah, Burdick was lucky on that. It was an outside pitch, but if you notice, he reached to protect the plate with 2 strikes, and you got to give him credit. Anyone's got 2 strikes, and they're protecting that plate. They're swinging. So give him credit.
The 1-2 pitch will be swung on and foul down the left field line.
Into the parking lot.
Well, luckily my car is parked back out that way instead. Opposite way.
Yes. Hopefully it never gets hit.
1-2 the count once more. The pitch, swing and a miss. A breaking ball from Beyer gets the Otters out of the inning. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Scoreless game at Bosse Field on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811. Brought to you by Indiana 811.
The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's. I'm in the mood for pizza and I'm ready to go. The Pizza Brick Road goes to Tyroni's. So follow me down the Pizza Brick Road. Road down to Tyroni's. The Pizza Brick Road. The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank the Evansville Courier and Press for their support and coverage of Otters baseball. The Evansville Courier and Press provides news, sports, and weather coverage to the Tri-State, both in a print and online edition. The Evansville Courier and Press can be found online at courierandpress.com, as well as on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. The Evansville Courier and Press, a member of the Journal Media Group.
Well, here goes the chance.
Welcome back to Bosse Field. Dave Nguyen, Bill McCune on the call. The Evansville Otters and the Lake Erie Crushers are tied at 0 as we're in the bottom of the 8th. See the Otters coming into this inning. They have left 5 runners in scoring position. 2 in scoring position. 5 runners left on base. 2 of them in scoring position. Runs have been hard to come by as the Lake Erie Crushers came into this game with the best ERA in the Frontier League and the most strikeouts. They have held their opponents to a batting average of .220.
Well, we're in the situation here now where Mr. JJ is the leadoff hitter. And if he gets on, we better move him over. And you've got a good bunter in
Cronin.
If he doesn't try to beat out a base hit at the same time, because people forget what the definition of a sacrifice bunt is. You've got to stand at home plate, make sure the ball's down fair to move the runner over, not for you to get on base. If you do, it's a bonus, but that's not your job.
Gould to the plate. He's 0 for 2 today. First pitch. Inside for strike one at the knees of JJ. Counted 0-1. JJ struck out looking back in the fifth, and he grounded out back in the third.
Yeah, he had words with the umpires last time when he was called out on the third strike.
Yep. De La Rosa sets up outside. The 0-1 pitch drops in there for strike two. Hasler out on the mound for his third inning of work. 0-2 the count quickly to Gould in the first two pitches of the at-bat.
The fans are still here. It's a beautiful baseball game to watch.
0-2 to JJ. Swung on and popped up in the infield. Towards second base, Marrero is there to squeeze it for out number one.
You know what I noticed, Dave? So many of our Otter hitters are hitting off the back foot because they're late in their swing. I don't know. They're again, I can't explain it, but they're hitting off the back foot, and that's why you find so many pop-ups in the infield or short outfield, because again, there's no power. They're dipping the shoulder, they're hitting off the back foot, and instead of charging or attacking, you know, when you're hitting in the batting cage there or off one of those tees, you don't stride, you just swing, you know. And remember, we were talking about home run derby. It's one of the worst things in the world.
1-0 the count to Cronin. There's one out in the bottom of the eighth. Michael Gizzi will be warming up in the Otters' pen on the first base side. Looks like Byer, his night is done after pitching 2 scoreless innings. The 1-0 pitch to Cronin was be fouled behind home plate.
Now, who's warming up for the Otters?
Michael Gizzi.
Now, why would we take Byer out?
I don't know.
If he's doing well,
keep him in.
I mean, well, I'm up here in the radio booth. Max is down there in the dugout.
1-1. Cronin shows bunt, pulls his bat back. It's strike two. Fastball with a bit of mustard on it from Hasler. Count moves to 1-2, 1 out, no score. Bottom of the eighth. Otters have only 3 hits in the game. Lake Erie has 5. Playing on the edge of the infield grass at third base is Wofford. Infield playing Cronin to pull towards the right side of the infield. Hasler comes set, the 1-2. In the dirt for a ball.
You know, you got guys like Cronin, left-hander. You got Hunter's a left-hander. Both of them got good speed. And you also have Meggs. And I'd get out here and say that batting practice, instead of taking and trying to hit every ball in batting practice over the fence, I'd say let's practice slapping the ball to left field. Look at that gap you got. Just slap it. Now, Marino started the game off tonight or last night with a slap to left field. And again, for a lefty with good speed, I don't know, it's an opportunity they're bypassing.
2-2. Ground ball to Hill at second. On a couple of hops, I'll toss that one over to first for out number 2. Two up, 2 down, and we'll bring on Keith Griesaber. Keith today is 1 for 3, singling it back in the third. There were runners on the corners then, and Ryan Long then popped up on the first pitch of that at-bat back in the third.
Yeah, you had Cronin on first base, and he was stealing, and Keith just lined one up the middle. Cronin continuing on to third. Runners on first and third, and you're right, Long swung at the first pitch, and that ended that rally.
First pitch to Greasaber is fouled behind home plate. Catches the edge of the barrel of the bat. Count moves to 0-1, 2 outs. Scoreless game in the bottom of the 8th. 5 hits for the Crushers, 3 for the Otters. Otters have had 5 runners left on base, 2 of them in scoring position. The 0-1. And that'll be inside for a ball. Count will be even at 1 with 2 outs.
Keith is the only 300 hitter we got on the team.
Correct. 3-0-2. The 1-1. Dropping in there for a ball this time from Hasler. Count now at 2-1 with 2 outs.
That left fielder's playing down out there in Darmstadt. He can't get too much further on the Wise defenses in his back. He's not taking any chances.
Two, 1. Breaking ball in the dirt.
We've got competition here on the other side of our press box.
Yeah, I guess so. 3-1 the count, 2 outs to Greasaber. The pitch popped up. Foul.
You notice how he was on his back foot too? I mean, a lot of these batters are swinging. They're late because they're not shifting their weight forward. They're hitting off the back foot. We ought to take films of this and say, here's what you're doing wrong.
Well, today in 1938, the Brooklyn Dodgers hit their 2000th home run. Legendary shortstop Leo Droscher homers off Reds hurler Peaches Davis.
Leo hit that?
Yep. The payoff pitch. Foul down the third base line.
Leo managed the Dodgers and he managed the New York Giants. And when he was managing New York Giants, he was married to Lorraine Day, who was a Hollywood actress. Center field, the clubhouse was in dead center, and you had to climb stairs. And Doris Day was always out there in the clubhouse. I worked out with the Giants, I'm going to say at least 20 times, and I met Lorraine Day several times.
The 3-2 to Greasaber. Fouled once more.
And that's where Willie Mays, if you remember, made that outstanding catch over his shoulder in deep center field in Polo Grounds, yeah. Polo Grounds was so nice to go to. All you had to do was walk across the bridge and you were at the Yankee Stadium. Very, very convenient. Same subway would take you to either the Polo Grounds or the Yankee Stadium. Very, very, very easy to get to.
3-2 once more. Bounces away for ball 4. And the Otters have another base runner.
Now, don't steal because this guy's got the arm, and we just have to play, as you say, small ball. A base hit or a wild pitch could put the runner on second.
So there will be a mound visit by De La Rosa to Hasler. We are in a scoreless game. A chess match, a pitcher's duel that has been going on back and forth between the Crushers and the Otters. A Frontier League East-West Division showdown here at Bosse Field. Ryan Long to the plate. Ryan is 0 for 1 with 2 walks.
This would be the time that Ryan could really establish himself as one of the most proficient Otter players that we have had spend time here in Otterville.
So Wright and Gizzy now warming up in the Otters pen.
Oh, Wright is now, huh?
Yes.
Oh. Now, Wright threw quite a few pitches in the last 2 games because he was high with his fastball.
First pitch to Ryan Long is in the dirt for a ball. 1-0 the count. 2 outs. Greasaber on first. He worked what seemed like a 10-pitch walk.
Yeah, be careful over there. See how he's getting anxious. He's got bugs in his pants. Be careful.
Ants in his pants. The 1-0. Oh, drop in there. A breaking ball for strike 1.
Yeah, that's that pitch that Ryan does not go after. It's low. It's outside. It may be a strike.
He's not going to go after
but
it.
no, he doesn't go after that pitch, which again I'd give him credit for, because that's if you feel that's a weakness, don't go after it.
It's the plate discipline that really counts.
Yeah.
De La Rosa sets up outside. Greasaber goes, and he'll have to retreat back as that pitch is fouled behind home plate.
Now, I don't know if that was protecting the runner or, I thought he was going to run. I would have bet money he was going to run, but then I'd say, no, you're not going to take a chance. But I guess I was wrong. But anyway, did Ryan protect the runner, or was he going after a good pitch? Because that was outside.
It was outside,
yeah.
Crowd trying to provide a spark. De La Rosa sets up outside from Long. The 1-2 will be swung on and fouled down the third base line.
That was, again, a high and outside pitch. I have seen Ryan in previous occasions, last year, early this year, where he's taken that pitch and he slapped it over the shortstop's head and gotten himself a double. So if that's what he's attempting to do, I give him credit for it.
One-two, runner goes. Drive to left center field. That's going to drop all the way to left center field wall. Rounding third and scoring is Keith Greasaber. Ryan Long comes up in the clutch with a 2-out RBI double, and the Otters are on the board.
Did I say he hits a lot to left center? That was a net, and what did he get? What did I say? He gets doubles, and that's exactly what he got. That is what you call, and I thought he was trying to do that on the first 2 high and outside pitches where he was kind of slapping it, and then finally he did get that pitch, and he did slap it to left. He ended up getting what he always does, and that's a double, because when you put it in between those outfielders, there's no way you can get anything but a double.
So Elijah McNamee to the plate, and Big Mac, and the Otters closer Taylor Wright continues to warm up in the Otters pen. And what was a scoreless game through 7.2 innings, Ryan Long comes up in the clutch on an RBI double to left center field.
He needed that because
the whole team needed that.
Yeah. But, I mean, Ryan is the leader in the league of RBIs, and he did get a big run in last night, but it was on a fielder's choice, so he didn't get credit for the RBI.
Ooh, first pitch to McNamee is high inside for a ball. 1-0 the count, 2 outs. 1-0 Otters. The 1-0 swung on foul. McNamee comes into this at bat 0 for 3 today with a strikeout and 2 flyouts. 1-1 the count, 2 outs. McNamee heading into this game has had at least a hit in every game he's played.
Yeah. Well, the crowd is alive tonight. Now that we're up 1, it's up to us to hold it.
1-1. Fly ball, right field, foul territory. And this will be off the fence and foul down the first base line near the Otters bullpen.
Did you ever wonder? Big Mac hit that ball, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Big Mac is on his way to second base when, of course, the ball was out of play. That was a foul ball from the moment it left the bat. Why would you want to run if it's foul ball?
Maybe he was hoping that the outfielder would drop it.
Well, yeah, but it was fouled by 100 or 200 feet. If it's close, yes, but not when it's so far away. I mean, going into the stands. But, hey, I'm not saying Big Mac's wrong. Everybody does it. I did it myself. I just wonder why.
1-2 the count, 2 outs. Long on second with the RBI double. 1-0 Otters. McNamee in a righty-righty matchup with Hasler. From the belt. The 1-2. Swing and a drop third strike.
Go to first.
And that will be the play where the strikeout is recorded, but McNamee will reach base on the drop third strike after the breaking ball gets away from De La Rosa after the pitch from Hasler. So runners on the corners. So it's a K, but it's a drop third strike. And on his way to first is Elijah McNamee, keeping this inning alive. Jack Meggs to the plate, and looks like the Crushers might have a call to the pen.
Yeah, I'd give what's name De La Rosa a pass ball on that, because I don't think it was a wild pitch. I think it was a breaking pitch, and first of all, I don't know why Big Mac swung at it, because it was a bad pitch, but it was beneficial to the Otters because he no sooner swung at that ball when he started running to first base. No, he's staying in there.
Meggs to the plate. Jack today is 1 for 3 with a single. He was then caught stealing after the single back in the 4th. He struck out looking in the 2nd, and he grounded out to the second baseman Hill in the 6th. So an open bag at second. The strikeout does count for Kent Hasler. But because the ball got away from Brian De La Rosa, the catcher, Long advanced to third, and McNamee hustled down the first base line and is awarded first base. Lefty-righty matchup. First pitch to Jack is the ball outside.
See, there's that big hole again that's open between third and short. Again, like I'm saying, you know, when you got Cronin and you got Hunter and you got Meggs, boy, all you got to do is slap that ball to left center. That's all you got to do is slap it. You don't have to take a big cut.
1-0, away for a ball. Right now, between the past few innings, Hasler has 25 strikes and 18 balls.
Yeah. Well, you know, sometimes managers make mistake by yanking the starting pitcher a little too early.
Infield playing Meggs to pull to the right side. The 2-0. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball from Hasler. Count now at 2-1. Really, that was ball 3.
That was ball 3. That was a bad pitch. It was a breaking pitch that bounced in front of home that Jack had committed himself. He rotated those hips, and the bat got halfway across the plate. And there's no way he could have hit that ball. See, now that's what I keep emphasizing about attacking the ball. He was ready to attack it.
2-1 the count. Runners on the corners for the Otters. They now lead 1-0. And what was a scoreless game through 7.2 innings. 2-1 is upstairs and away for a ball. Yeah. This inning started with a J.J. Gould flyout, Cronin ground ball out, Griesaber walk, Ryan Long RBI double. McNamee awarded first after the drop third strike went away from De La Rosa, the catcher. 3-1 the count to Meggs. Here's the next pitch. That'll be away for ball 4. The bases are juiced for the Otters.
I would say that's the end of this pitcher.
That is what the kids call a quab or a quality at bat.
Yeah.
So McNamee over to second. And really, if you think about it, the strikeout that occurred to Elijah McNamee should have ended the inning.
Oh, yeah.
But De La Rosa had the ball get away from him. McNamee was then going over to first base without a throw to record the official out. So the Otters taking advantage of some miscues by the Lake Erie Crushers.
Isn't this the guy coming in that gave up those wild pitches last night?
Let's see. What number is it?
He's got the long hair.
Let's see. They got a couple guys with long hair. It looks like it'll be Dalton Geeky this time.
Okay.
And I got to tell you, this guy throws some heat. His fastball goes all the way to 96.
All right, that's not the same guy as last night.
No, looks similar, but different number.
Yeah, okay.
Geeky pitched for the South Bend Cubs last season. Apparently he was with the Crushers for maybe a month and then was picked up by the Cubs last season after he showed that he could throw 96 on the gun.
Oh, this is the guy that you said last on the radio that was 96. Yes, okay. All right.
All right, let me throw some facts at you, Bill.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Today, 1956, Ted Williams was fined $5,000 for spitting and heckling at Red Sox fans. His third incident in 3 weeks.
It probably let the fans in the left field. They loved Ted Williams. They would agitate him. Ted Williams broke his elbow running against the wall and was handicapped for a while. He didn't play. He was on the DL. And the Red Sox, Boston Fenway Park, was missing several thousand fans in left field. And all he did was agitate. And, a guy like him can afford it, And he was one of the first. I remember my brother used to get after me when we were younger. And I didn't wear a tie. And I had his sport jacket on, and he'd say, put a tie on. I'd say, yeah, but Ted Williams don't have a tie. Anyway, I learned when I was scouting in the majors. That's amazing. When I was had the opportunity to scout in the majors, we, Dick Hager and I, we always wore a sport jacket.
Okay.
Not today. Today they go in dirty, ripped T-shirts to watch ball games. I'm talking about Major League Scouts. It's a disgrace. The game has changed so much. There's no
interesting
respect.
Observation. No, I can agree with you on that point.
There's no respect. I mean,
so Dalton Geeky comes in, 1.69 ERA, 2-2 record, 18 games, 1 save, 16 innings pitched, has allowed 12 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, 6 walks, 25 strikeouts.
6 walks, 25 strikeouts. So if we were to get, here comes Big Mike. Now, if this guy throws 96, Big Mike better be ready.
So the scouting report now, if you're Mike or if you're Hunter Cullen, if you get on deck, sit on the fastball. He does have an off-speed pitch, but that off-speed is around like 82, 83.
Well,
his fastball, I'm telling you, from what I saw last week, it hums in there with an ease.
Well, again, you're right. Look for the fastball, but same pitch and same thing. Don't.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Just a bit outside.
I was going to say, don't swing at the right first pitch. And of course, Mike didn't have a chance, even if he wanted to, unless he got one of those fireman's ladders.
So bases loaded for the Otters, 1-0 after the RBI double from Ryan Long. He now stands at third. McNamee at second, Meggs at first. The 1-0 pitch from Geeky. Ground ball to the third baseman. Wofford throws over to first, and that will end the inning. Time for Taylor the Dark Right to come out of the bullpen as we head to the top of the ninth with a 1-0 lead for the Otters on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
GD Ritzy's is a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball. GD Ritzy's menu features hamburgers, grilled chicken sandwiches, old-fashioned peanut butter and jelly, and ice cream. With 3 Evansville locations: west at 4810 University Drive, on the north side at 4320 North 1st Avenue, and on the east side at 601 North Green River Road. GD Ritzy's is open from 10 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, and 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. GD Ritzy's, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
Heritage Federal Credit Union has 7 full-service branches in both Evansville and Newburgh, serving more than 38,000 members. Membership is open to anyone who lives, works, worships, or attends school in Vandenberg or Warwick County. Heritage Federal Credit Union offers mortgage and consumer loans, checking and savings accounts, as well as online banking for members. Heritage Federal Credit Union can be reached toll-free by phone at 1-800-858-1693. It can also be found online at hfcu.info.
1-2, runner goes. Drive to left center field. That's going to drop all the way to the left center field wall. Rounding third and scoring is Keith Griesaber. Ryan Long comes up in the clutch with a 2-out RBI double, and the Otters are on the board.
Good description there.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters baseball. Dave Nguyen, Bill McCune on the call. Top of the ninth, 1-0 Otters. After that highlight moments ago, the RBI double from Ryan Long that scored Keith Griesaber. Taylor the Dark Right comes out of the bullpen for another save opportunity. He earned his 10th save last night, and he's showing a little bit more confidence after his outing on Sunday when the minors were able to get to him.
Well, I hope he's got his fastball zeroed in and it's not too high, but I can't let it go by without commenting about Big Mike's last at-bat. He charged, he attacked that pitch, and he hit a shot down that third base. That's the way Mike has got to do it, and that's when he gets his base hits, when he, his stride is going into the pitch, not waiting on the back foot. Anyway, Mike, good shot. And, of course, our congratulations to Mr. Ryan for that wonderful slap double to left center.
So to the plate will be Zach Rakusin, Jake Veith, and Dre Hubbard. Rakusin and Veith are threats, as Rakusin had 2 RBIs last night. Today, Rakusin is 1 for 3 with a single. Rakusin batting .279 on the year.
Okay, Ryan is playing close to the bag and to the line, which he does have to prevent that, ball going down the line for a double.
Riz will set up outside. The first pitch from right. It'll be a breaking ball in the dirt.
Yeah.
1-0 the count to Rakusin in a righty-righty matchup. Riz gives him the sign. He sets up outside once more. The 1-1. Fastball, and that'll be in the dirt for ball 2.
Well, Wright gave a wonderful interview prior to the game, and he was talking about being relaxed and such. Hopefully, he's feeling that way himself.
2-0 is inside for ball 3. Wright comes in with a .96 ERA, 37.1 innings pitched, 47 strikeouts, and 10 saves. The all-star reliever from Brown University and Episcopal Academy. The 3-0 pitch, right down Broad Street for strike 1.
I just realized something, right? You always say coming down Broad Street instead of Broadway. And I just realized Philadelphia, the main street's Broad Street.
That's right. That's right. The 3-1 upstairs for ball 4.
Yeah. And again, 2 of the 5 pitches that Mr. Wright threw were high, which again, he was high with his pitches Friday night, or let's see,
Sunday.
Not Friday night, Sunday, and he was high last night. And so far, 2 of his pitches were high tonight. Now, this to me would be a normal bunt, but not with this guy.
Jake Veith does have some power. Wright needs to be careful.
Yeah.
The tying run at first, go-ahead run at the plate in Jake Veith. 1-0 Otters, top 9. First pitch from Wright. Drops in there for strike 1.
Yeah.
Off speed from Wright, count at 0-1 to Veith. Veith today is 1 for 3 with a single. His single occurred in his last at-bat back in the 6th.
That was a blooper, wasn't it?
That's right. The 0-1 pitch will be uppercutted to right field, and McNamee will be there for out number 1. Second pitch of the at-bat, 1 away in the top of the 9th.
Yeah, he went for the distance on that one. He hit off the back foot as well, but he hit quite a few over that fence in batting practice, I'll tell you that. But, no, it just so happens we got a good out on that one.
1 out, 1-0 Otters, 1 runner on first. Dre Hubbard to the plate. He is 0 for 2 with a walk. Gould plays that double play depth with Cronin. Swing and a miss on a fastball from Wright. Count at 0-1.
And I notice, just for the record, that JJ is playing short, and he's playing a normal shortstop now. He's not shading.
0-1, and that fastball blows by Hubbard for strike 2.
And I'm going to emphasize the point is because there's a runner on first base, and to execute the double play, he's got to be that close to second, whereas if he was playing that shading to third, there was no way you could execute a double play.
0-2 the count, 1 out, double play in effect. The next pitch from Wright. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout for Taylor Wright on a breaking ball. 2 away in the top of the 9th.
He looked bad on that one, I'll tell you that. That was good pitching and good calling by Mike.
Now Wright needs to be careful to De La Rosa. De La Rosa had the leadoff hit last night in the 9th.
Yes. Wasn't that a double down the left field line?
Yep.
Yeah.
Now Riz is going to go talk to his closer, and a good conversation right here because they don't want to pitch to him. They don't want to give him a pitch down the heart of the plate. If they go inside, they want to be careful. If they go outside, they don't want it to be too outside.
Well, I may be mistaken, but my observation of batting practice with this guy, De La Rosa, he hit nothing but line drives. He didn't hit any near the fence. They were just line drives over short, third, second. And I'm saying, hey, this guy's a pretty good contact hitter. Everyone else was going for the fence. He was going for base hits.
So Brian De La Rosa represents the go-ahead run at home plate for the Crushers. The tying run is at first in Rack-Houston. First pitch from Wright.
Strike.
A strike down Broad Street for strike 1. That was off speed from Taylor Wright. 0-1 the count, 2 outs, runner on first, 1-0 Otters. Wright and Riz agree with the pitch. The 0-1. Line drive caught by J.J. Gould to end the inning.
What a
Taylor, the dark right, comes out of the Batcave and earns another save for the Otters and clinches a win as the Otters defeat the Lake Erie Crushers by a final score of 1-0. J.J. Gould with another fine defensive play, and the Otters have won the series against the Crushers by winning 2-0 winning this game tonight by a score of 1-0.
And may I just point out something very, very, very important. J.J. caught that line drive because he was playing normal shortstop. He wasn't shading the third. If he was playing the way he plays during the whole game, that would have been a base hit.
We'll come back with the final totals as this pitcher's duel was exciting. We'll come back after this on the Evansville Otters Baseball, 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
The Hoosier Lottery began selling lottery tickets on October 13, 1989. Since then, the Hoosier Lottery has offered hundreds of different games, awarded prizes to millions of players, and given billions of dollars to the state of Indiana. The Hoosier Lottery's mission is to responsibly provide innovative and entertaining lottery games for the benefit of the citizens of Indiana. To learn more about the Hoosier Lottery, visit them online at HoosierLottery.com. The Hoosier Lottery, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Chapter 16, would like to take time to say, Go Otters! The IBEW Local 16's jurisdiction includes 13 counties in southwestern Indiana, as well as Wabash County in Illinois. Its members are divided into several categories of electrical work, including inside construction, maintenance electric, residential wiring, and sign classifications. More information on IBEW Local 16 can be found online at ibew16.net.
The Tri-State Area Marathon service stations are proud supporters of the Evansville Otters. Marathon has over 5,100 Marathon-branded stations nationwide, and a full list of area Marathon stations and a list of daily gas prices are available online at mymarathonstation.com. Marathon provides products which support commercial, industrial, and retail operations. Marathon's slogan is Fueling the American Spirit.
WUEV listeners, you can catch Evansville Otters baseball this week, Tuesday through Sunday on 91.5 FM WUEV. And remember, the Otters pregame warm-up begins 15 minutes prior to first pitch. You can listen on 91.5 FM, WUEV.org, EvansvilleOtters.com, and through TuneIn Radio. It's Evansville Otters baseball on WUEV.
Yeah, I used to go with a lot of for years.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters baseball. The Otters win Game 2 against these Lake Erie Crushers by a final score of 1-0. Not much happened as this game was scoreless through 7.2 innings. The Otters with a runner on first base in Keith Griesaber. Ryan Long came up in the clutch with a 2-out RBI double to deep left center field. Griesaber scored easily, and that was the only run scored. I got to tell you, Austin Nicely once again had a fabulous game. He went 6 innings, allowed only 5 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts against these Lake Erie Crushers. He has now won 3 games against Lake Erie and 4 starts against them.
Yeah, but he doesn't get credit for that night's win.
Unfortunately.
That's the ironic part is most of our starters so far within the last week have done exceptionally well, but then again, they don't get credit for the win or the loss because they're yanked in the 6th or 7th inning. But anyway, whoever gets the win...
It'll be Beyer, because Beyer came in the 7th and the 8th.
Well, what I'm trying to say is never mind. I don't care who gets the win as long as we get the save. Mr. Wright got that save. But, I'm going to give credit to Ryan Long. If you recall, I kept saying, well, he used to slap that ball to left field last year quite often. You got doubles. And then there was that high outside pitch, and he slapped at it. And Keith was running, and I said, I don't know if he was trying to protect the runner stealing or not, but Keith has tried to, Ryan has tried to go to Long, and then it was the next identical pitch, and Ryan slapped at it again. It was foul ball. Then all of a sudden, here he gets that outside high pitch, and boom, to left field. He slapped at it. He did not give it that home run shot. If he had done that, I believe it would have been an out. But anyway, that increases Ryan's RBIs, but great win for the Otters. Great pitching.
a wonderful pitching performance by both teams.
Yes.
And it's a really good win for the Otters because this team has, and the Lake Erie Crushers have the best ERA collectively in the Frontier League. So not only is that a win, but a confidence booster win against a quality team in Lake Erie.
Well, I'm just looking at the finals. Dave, the Otter pitchers had 11 strikeouts. As you said, 6 by Nasley, 4 by Byer. I thought he was key. He came in and
2 scoreless innings were huge.
Right, and 4 strikeouts, and that is what the Otters need. They need, even though unfortunately he walked the first batter, but he got out of it anyway.
We're going to check the scores around the Frontier League in Windy City, in River City. They're in a doubleheader between the Rascals and the Thunderbolts. The Rascals won Game 1 by a score of 2-1. The Florence Freedom jumped all over the Schaumburg Boomers, winning by a final score of 10-2. And the third game of a 3-game series against the Southern Illinois Miners and the Gateway Grizzlies. The Miners won by a score of 6-2. The Slammers of Joliet defeated the Washington Wild Things by a final score of 2-1. And in Game 2 of a doubleheader between the Thunderbolts and Rascals, the Rascals are up by a score of 2-1. So with a Otters win tonight, they do not gain any ground against the Miners, against the Freedom of Florence, or the Rascals. But a win is a win.
Did I hear you say earlier that the Miners had won 5 straight? So tonight makes 6 straight. Is
That's
that
right.
correct?
Yes.
I tell you what, when you're hot, and the Otters, lost 4, but now they come back and they won 2. So let's hope the Otters have another win tomorrow night and have 3 straight.
Well, you can only control what's in front of you, and you can't worry about anyone else, right?
Right. Who's going tomorrow?
Tomorrow we have Tyler Beardsley.
Oh, okay. So we've had great pitching from Tyler the last time out, and here we have tonight. Great pitching by Nicely. Good pitching last night by Vale, and hopefully tomorrow night, another outstanding pitching performance.
All right.
Outstanding job you did, partner.
Thank you. For my partner in crime, Bill McCune, and our radio engineer, Mr. Paul Mattingly, back in the studio, who did a wonderful job tonight.
Oh, he keeps us on the air. I mean, he is probably the I'm going to say the #1 radio engineer in the entire state of Indiana.
Couldn't agree
How
more.
about that? Hall of Famer.
For Paul Mattingly back in the studio, I'm Dave Nguyen. Everyone, have a great night.